All right. You got to turn the volume up for this one. We got some stories coming at you. We did not hold back. Our boy Ronnie came in hot into the studio. Rick, tell him. Did he come in hot or did he came in hot?
He came in hot, and he had us absolutely howling.
Howling.
No,
it was a really good episode. For those Toronto fans out there, I'm sure you guys know Ronnie or cross paths with him, been out with him, shared a laugh or a drink. Great guy, works in the nightlife industry in Toronto, does some modeling, amongst other things. I won't give away too much because his stories honestly were fantastic and really, really, really had us laughing. So, Ronnie, thanks for being a great guest. Guys, give him a follow at Ronnie Wray. And Rick, you want to give a little shout out here?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, On Men. With discreet packaging and no doctor's visits or uncomfortable conversations, On Men is making men's wellness products less taboo. On Men is an Ontario-based men's health startup aimed at making doctor's visits easier and getting prescriptions faster. Offerings include medications for hair loss and ED, as well as testosterone replacement therapy and sex counseling, all available at your fingertips. Check them out at onmen.ca. Also like to give another shout out to our sponsors at sponsors. Ooh, I like that. Sponsors at Tight Knit Clothing. Honestly, they're a great local Toronto-based brand. They sent us some sick sweaters and some t-shirts. If you watch the podcast on YouTube, you'll see it. They're great dudes, and honestly, during this time, it's very important to support local brands. So make sure you check them out at tightknitclothing.com. And Georgie, what do we say?
LFG.
Let's go. But we'll get a new couch. Andrew ready. Hooks us
Custom
up.
couch too.
And that's it.
All right.
Squeaky.
Gotta stay still. Mic check. We're good.
And we're live.
Okay.
Let's get it cracking, Georgie.
Pretty dude. I'm doing my hair and myself.
It's okay.
Well, we are live, so that's gonna be
we are
honest.
live. We're good.
Oh, we're live right now.
Yeah,
we're live.
Cool, okay.
We can chat that. It's okay.
Cool.
Looking good.
No, we're not
Ronnie,
chopping it.
you're looking good. Looking good.
Thank you.
We're a little bit underdressed, Rick and I, but
No, you look stylish.
I
Tell
was
us.
gonna wear a tux. I don't know.
No, tell us what you're in.
So Collar Clothing is a brand that I work with closely for years now, and thankfully David Collar has not let me paid for an outfit in a couple of years. So
That's it.
Really?
Hats off to David
That's
Collar.
a quick plug, eh? Our first. Hey, what's up? A minute into the plug.
Yeah.
David, I bought this sweatsuit on Amazon. I could use some free clothing. Help me out. I don't look.
Hey,
that
bias aside, and I say this to everybody, man, he's got the best fitting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially for like taller people. The denim's cut a little bit longer. It's tighter, but it's stretchy.
Nice.
Well,
I
you
love
look
it.
good.
Thank
Toronto
you.
company.
Yeah, based out of Toronto, and then they did it big. They started in Toronto, then they've expanded to like New York Fashion Week, and they got a bunch of celebrities wearing their stuff. And
That's
cool.
good.
Yeah.
We just got these sweaters from Tight Knit Clothing. They're actually super dope too. They sent us some shirts too,
Nice.
which was awesome. So we got this. I got this champion hoodie. George's got a red.
I noticed that when I
Nice.
walked in. Actually, it's
Yeah,
pretty dope. I like
honestly,
the logo.
super dope.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Especially this time, it's so nice to support local brands too. Like
Big
shout
time,
out
yeah.
Tight Knit Clothing, man. I know
Yeah.
we shouted them out a couple episodes.
You know what's nice though? Like, we've been doing a lot of merch lately, and like, shout out to everybody who's been wearing our merch. Honestly, we see you.
I'll be rocking it. I'll be rocking like I rock
Appreciate it.
collars, so
We're gonna see it
yeah.
at EFS soon. Wait, oh no, EFS closed. Fuck.
Yeah. You know what I was gonna say? Like,
Hopefully in the future.
for sure. I honestly haven't been downtown in forever. But what I was gonna say was, you know that like everyone does merch, right? Any company, any brand, they do apparel, they do merch. But
Of course,
you really,
you have to, yeah.
you really appreciate when a company goes and like puts like good quality into it, or their apparel line is good. Like, just speaking of them, like Tight Knit. When I tried the sweater on, I was like, you know, you're gonna think that maybe they're just a brand with regular sweaters.
Oh, I
They
get
went-
it. Tight knit.
Yeah. But
Oh,
they're
okay,
like
yeah.
heavy blend. They were like the champion one, the one
Yeah,
that I got.
champion.
Yeah, I don't have it on. Apologies, guys. Wore it all week. So, but no, really
In the
good
wash.
quality stuff. So you appreciate it. But
Yeah.
yeah, very cool. You got to support the local Toronto stuff.
Always.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially right now. Like you
Yeah,
said.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, Ronnie, and I guess you're going to Tulum soon.
Yeah, I leave a week tomorrow.
That's
Wow.
exciting.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel
yeah.
like everybody's in Tulum.
The entire city of Toronto went on the same flight. I feel like.
Yeah,
everyone's
headed
out
out of
there.
here.
We know a
Yeah.
few people that are. I know some people that were down there.
There's a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Everybody, man. I drove Ryan to the airport Sunday.
Also a couple
Okay.
days ago,
Yeah, he goes, it's like more of a destination trip. I'm gonna go like work out, get to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
No,
For sure.
absolutely not.
For sure, no.
Yeah. I was seeing the videos he was posting yesterday and what he was doing with his friends. I'm like, oh, it's a destination trip, right?
Yeah.
He's like,
I feel like everyone goes to like one yoga session out there while they're
Yeah.
there just to say they did it.
Yeah.
And other than that, it's just like
they go to the
food,
jungle
booze.
rumble in the jungle gym or whatever
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
called.
Okay.
They hit one yoga session and then jump
That's
on the beach.
it. And then just sleeping in, beach,
Yeah.
coconuts on the beach, maybe a little bit of stretching in the
Same
morning. That's about it.
rotation.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
crazy down there, man, right now.
Sangrias.
Yeah.
The videos I've been seeing, it's nuts. It's like a full blown
Really?
festival party in there.
I was actually looking at it. Like, I was hoping maybe like best case scenario that didn't have to quarantine for my work that we have right now.
You were supposed to go.
I was debating
Christmas,
going.
yeah.
Like I was debating Christmas time going away, even for New Year's coming up.
Yeah. New Year's is huge in Tulum, I heard.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I didn't have to quarantine, and you could travel down safely, whatever, like sure, by all means. And I even thought about it. I was like, right now it's kind of back in lockdown 4 weeks. I was like, if you could work remotely, like,
yeah, why not?
Why not? Because
Yeah.
you're like, if let's say, even if you had to work remote, you could technically come back 2 weeks. You're going to be working from home anyways. Like our company was going into the office. We couldn't even if we wanted to now. So like if you had the ability to go and you could work remote, like why not go for a couple weeks if you could do it
instead of
safely,
being
whatever.
trapped in a winter that's probably not going to be the most fun.
Yeah.
And going to the beach and work from your laptop or
Yeah,
your
yeah,
phone,
yeah.
right?
The city of Toronto right now, it's unfortunate
Hold the
that
mic.
with,
Put like a
with
bit
everything
right
with the
there.
lockdown, it's unfortunate. But I want to
It's
stay
tough,
away
man.
from lockdown talk just because
Yeah.
it cheeses me a bit.
Well,
Good news is,
oh,
though,
no.
so just for you, if you want to travel and come back, and for you as well, I heard that they might be speeding up the quarantine process when you travel and come back. If it's like rapid testing, I heard
So they
they're
mentioned
trying
that
to
like a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said they were going to turn it from the 14-day to a 3-day, which is
would be
very
great.
feasible, especially now that they're sending the rapid testing kits everywhere.
Yeah.
I know a whole bunch of hospitals got them. I think hospitals and schools got them.
I mean, if they have them, why don't they just do it? I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
And the thing is, so I think I shared an article in our group chat and they said that, but then someone told me like, oh, that's what Air Canada, Canadian Airlines are lobbying for because they were getting crippled, right?
For sure.
But then I saw
Absolutely.
now like even CDC or something recently was saying they want to reduce it, just like the airline industry. If you think about it, like imagine 12 months of like no revenues, but like losing 95% of revenue. Like, that's,
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Think
It
about
really
Air
is.
Canada. They probably got what, 200 planes, 500 planes.
I've had to guess more.
You can
Planes-
tell they're struggling by the price of flights right
Yeah,
now, too,
a
which is in our
plane has
favor.
gotta
but
be
yeah,
what?
For sure.
Yeah.
If you're traveling, it
100
works
mil?
out.
Something
Yeah.
like- planes are a crazy amount of money, and they're just parked half of them, or they're empty when
Yeah.
they fly, half empty. So
Yeah.
it's-
A one way to
it's
Tulum right now is $170.
Shut up.
There's like one stop in the States somewhere, but it's $170. Yeah.
But that's like flying to New York in like
Alright.
winter.
That's less than a dinner bill at Marble, you know?
Maybe we'll head down to for a couple days.
Pals podcast. We're going down south, baby.
Yeah,
probably set
I was
something
look-
up,
Yeah.
Well, we've actually got some exciting trips coming. Should I mention it now? We've never got into that.
yeah. The only
announcement.
thing I was wondering is like, are we like? I was wondering this other day. Are we still going to be going? Like,
So I guess we'll share. The pals are hitting the road actually. You
Nice,
mentioned that.
okay.
Yeah, so we're going. We're doing a couple ski trips out west.
A little tour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got
Yeah.
some partnerships lined up with Sun Peaks and Ski Big 3.
Okay.
So we're gonna go like do a full weekend experience at each of them, or Ski Big 3 is each of those resorts, and then do a live podcast out
Amazing.
there, which is super cool. And then same thing at Sun Peaks, and Sun Peaks is like the second biggest resort in Canada. So, knock on wood, if things
Yeah.
go according to plan, which the dates are confirmed, we haven't booked our flights because
Okay.
you never know with COVID.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
might
yeah.
lock down cross province travel or something. Who knows? But
That'd
if
be
they
so.
don't,
Ugh.
yeah.
we're still
To
we're
be honest.
If they don't, we're going to West Coast.
Yeah.
If you guys want, man, Tulum in a week. You could say you guys
Just
up
hop
with like
on
a
the
studio on a boat. or
That's it.
something.
A little
how
boat.
long
Yeah.
you went down for? Oh, open ended. Oh, you
Yeah,
booked. Wait, sorry.
I'm booking a one way. Yeah.
Smart.
Well,
love it, man.
Christmas is huge in my family, like most families. So I'm
sure.
gonna come back for Christmas.
You're originally from Ottawa, though.
Ottawa,
correct?
yeah.
So are you going back to Ottawa for Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
That's
fly
if
here.
you come back.
That's if you come back.
Yeah. Well, I've already been speaking to my parents, and they're like, "You're coming back?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I'm gonna come back." But I think right after Christmas, I'm just gonna head back.
Really?
Sense.
Why
We'll
not?
quarantine
right?
there with the family.
Well,
Yeah.
like and correct me if I'm wrong. Primarily, like not maybe not primarily, but one of your big what you do for your career is you're in the nightlife industry in Toronto and that kind of stuff as
Yep.
well. So
Yeah.
is it like? Are you going because you know what, things are closed here, I might as well just go open
Yeah, like,
ended?
why would I stay when there's nothing going on?
Yeah.
Right. And like me and Ryan have been blessed to be able to work in multiple clubs around the world, from spring break to different cities in Canada to down south, wherever. So we actually have, thankfully, connections down there too. So if we wanted to throw parties, we could do it down there too.
Oh,
But I think
for-
for the first
Half
little
of
bit, we're just gonna
Half
relax.
of Toronto is down there.
Yeah. So it'd be the
fucking
easiest thing to do.
Book a couple tables, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Ronnie, I wanted to ask because prior to this summer, we had never met,
Okay.
and I didn't know anything about you. I didn't even know your name. And then this summer, I think I see you either out or online everywhere. Like
Came out of
constantly.
nowhere.
Yeah, basically. I was like, I think Adrian introduced us. Shout out Adrian and Smeeds. And they introduced us, and I was like, fuck, now I can't go like a day or two without seeing either you and Ryan, or one of the events you're working, something. So what do you define yourself as?
An entrepreneur, mainly based in the kind of like the entertainment aspect.
So an entertainment entrepreneur?
Yeah, pretty much. Just like you guys,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you're doing now, essentially.
Yeah.
Anywhere from nightlife to events elsewhere to modeling to emceeing down south or wherever it may be, and a bunch of other stuff, really. Just and online work, marketing. I've done it
A little
all,
bit of
so to speak.
everything.
Yeah.
So kind of events and marketing, all that kind of stuff.
Pretty much, yeah.
Very cool.
So me and Ryan started off in Ottawa. We actually
That's what I was just gonna ask. I'm like, I want to hear this with the background story because I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
you're from Ottawa. So what led you to here?
Okay, so I'll
The Pals
long
podcast.
story short. So I started, in college. I became the event coordinator for the school I went to.
Okay.
And
What
then
school?
a place called Heritage in Quebec. Okay. And then from there, I was playing college basketball and semi-pro football at the same time. I was all about sports. And I had my first girlfriend first year of college. I was very committed to working out, girlfriend, sports.
Yeah.
And then I became the event coordinator. And then the second year I became
Slippery
the event coordinator. Oh, big time. And then, and then I found out what vodka was like, and parties. And then from there I started throwing events at clubs in Hull. And Ryan was on the other side of this other college throwing parties at the same club that we kind of started at. And then when at a very young age, 17, 18. Wow. And from there I stopped playing sports, started focusing more on parties. And then me and Ryan connected. And then, long story short, we worked with this company where it took us all around for spring break, Quebec City trips, and we started hosting.
Which company was it?
We did our thing with Breakaway Tours.
Yeah,
S-Trip,
Breakaway,
of course, the big one, right?
Yeah.
But it was mainly with this company called Studio 44, and a guy named JR, who's a legend. He hooked us up with pretty well everything, and he gave us our start. Wow. And then from there, we did the spring break kind of vibe, and then we went to Quebec City, and then we went all around, and then shortly thereafter, Ryan and I actually opened up our first club together, and then we worked every single club in Ottawa that we could. And then I made the move here about 4 years ago, actually. And then Ryan stayed in Ottawa. And then this past January, he moved here. And then we kind of just
rekindled.
Yeah. It was have you guys watched The Mighty Ducks? I always make this reference. When the Basham brothers get together? Back together, they reunite. It was like that.
And they get instantly they get kicked out of the game or they're in the penalty box.
Yeah. I think I sent Ryan that scene 100 times before he moved. You're this could be so sick, man. It's fucking Basham brothers are reuniting.
Just
Sorry about
tearing
my
up.
language.
You can swear. It's
okay, cool.
Just tearing up King Street and all over downtown.
Man, it's been fun. And I went through my party phase when I first moved to Toronto, because when I hit 25 in Ottawa, I was like, fuck. I was like, what am I doing? I'm like, do I start working in the government or do I start a family?
Yeah.
And then
that's honestly
yeah.
You know what? In fairness, Ottawa does have a big tech scene now, which I didn't know, but it's pretty much every building you walk around Ottawa. It's
every single one. Yeah.
Everything.
And then I moved to Toronto when I was 16. Everyone's like, oh, you're such a baby. I'm like, sick. So then I went on this party phase again and got it out of my system. And then before Ryan moved here, I calmed down. I was only drinking once a week. I was getting back into fitness and modeling and so on. And I was taking that seriously. Ryan moved here, bender.
Straight bender, 1 year long.
Now he's going through the phase that I went through when I first moved here. And rightfully so.
And you're like,
I told him, man, you got 2 more years.
How long ago did
January.
he move?
Sorry?
He just moved
January
here
1st. Yeah.
Oh.
New Year's Eve was our first event.
So
we did
basically,
together.
you're if my boy's gonna drink, I'm gonna drink.
That's the tone pretty good.
I'm I'm not letting him do it all on his own.
I can't
I'm
let
getting
him
back
go
on the
solo.
sauce
You
here.
can't
Yeah.
That's every time I want to do something, I'm like, yo, Rick, you want to do this? Like the marathon, no training. Or want to go out? Sure. Want to go on this trip? Sure. Just doesn't even say, can't let you do it alone. There's no fun in that.
Yeah, I just like hanging out with my friends.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's how we kind of started the podcast.
That's how we do
We've
everything.
told this story so many times, but we when we were in Florida together last Christmas, we literally talked about New Year's resolution. We wanted to try something different. We said, let's do the podcast because that means we'll have to hang out minimum once a week.
That's cool.
We'll have to 100% hang out. And now we see each other 4 or 5 days a week.
Yeah, at least.
You're part of my inner circle.
I would hope
so. I'd hope so. Yeah.
My household,
I've known you for
I feel like
10
you're
years.
my household. My household.
Now I'm officially the inner circle.
My household inner circle.
And this guy
Just now. Today.
I thought we were in the inner circle when I almost killed you in Cancun, but that was early days.
Cancun's a crazy place.
I
I got kicked out the last time I was in Cancun. I don't know if I could tell that story, but
we might honestly have some.
probably can if you want. It's up to you.
it was.
Tell the PG version.
I got brought down as an MC, and then the 2 nights before my schedule started, we went out, and I technically wasn't supposed to go out as staff, but I was going out with the owner of the company. And we were trying to keep it low key and whatever, and we knew some DJs that were playing, and I got banged up out of control. And the next thing I know, I woke up in a jail cell. And I woke.
Does the family know this story?
Sorry.
Does your family know?
Oh yeah, big time.
Oh, okay.
So they think I'm an idiot, but they sort of laugh.
My
too. My dad kind of went down a similar path that I did, so he just
very cool.
Yeah. My mom was obviously worried. But anyway, so I wake up in this jail cell, and I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, all right, here we go. So I look across, and there's this. I kid you not, it was out of a movie. There's this Mexican guy sitting there across the cell staring at me. And I was like, hey, dude. And he's like, what are you in here for? I'm like, I don't know. So I bang on the cell.
You actually didn't know, no recollection.
No idea. The last thing I remember is we were walking to the stage with the DJs to where they were going on to play their set. Nothing else after that. Still to this day, when you have flashbacks a couple weeks later?
Nothing.
Oh, fuck, that's right. Zero. No idea what happened.
So what they say, you knocked on the window?
Knocked on the cell. This is going to be a little bit of a long story. I'll try and speed through it. So then I get to this negotiator, and I think I had $700 on me at the time, a fake chain, and my phone, right? And he
And
goes,
Google Translate didn't exist back then either.
No. This was like 2 years ago. So yeah, I have not matured one little bit. Not
This is
matured.
like 10 years ago.
No,
Like,
no,
our
no, this was
Cancun-
like,
our
yeah.
Cancun was 10 years ago, probably.
So was ours, but we just haven't stopped apparently. Yeah.
So Google Translate did
Yeah,
exist.
yeah.
iPhone fully. I could have
Yeah,
gotten
yeah.
away with it. But anyway, so I get to this negotiator or this prison dude, or I don't know what he was. And he goes, $600 and you'll get out of here. And then I'm like, what time is it? And he's like, 7:30 in the morning. I'm like, perfect. Staff meeting's at 9. I could cab back to the hotel, shower, get to the staff meeting. Nobody will know shit. Did not work out like that. So then he brings me my stuff. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, I must have like $700 left. My phone, I could make, like, if I don't know, if I spend it on, I could text somebody to come get me, blah, blah, whatever, right? He comes back with $62. I'm like, where's my shit? And he goes, this is all you had. And then I'm like, it's in Mexico.
No,
Like,
no phone either?
zero. My fake chain. out of
Just
everything,
$62
and $62.
He's like $62 in
And
my fake chain.
Like he knew it was fake. He's like, I don't need this. And then,
like from our D's, like, you know, like gold plated ones or whatever. Yeah.
and then I'm like, listen, dude. I'm like, I know what goes on here. Bring me back I'm still pretty drunk, so I'm being a bit of an asshole. I'm like, I know what the fuck goes on here. Bring me my shit. And this little fucking prison guard behind me pushes me. Because I guess he sees that I'm getting aggressive. And of course, like I said, I'm still a little bit drunk, so I'm being like a
Confidence still a
douche.
little bit like-
Confidence
yeah.
is up there.
I could take these guys.
I'm like, there's 2 of them. They're not that big. But and then I'm like, hey, man, do you mind not pushing me here? I'm trying to get out of jail. And then like I'm being a prick. And I turn back to the guy and I'm like, hey, man, like I know what the fuck goes on here. Give me my shit. I'll pay you. I need to go. And the guy hits me again. And I turn around and he sees like I get kind of aggressive and I see him kind of reach for his side. I'm like, okay, I don't know what he's going to reach for. I'm like, you know what? Take me to my cell. I'll take a nap. So he's like pushing me as I'm walking back to the cell. I wake up, get a bang on the cell. But I wake up by like somebody banging on the cell saying my name. I'm like, thank God. So the staff found out where I was. And because Lee Kane, he's gonna laugh when I tell him this story. When he hears this story, sorry, he was running around like frantic, not knowing where he was. He's like, "Where the fuck is Ronnie?"
Like running around like downtown Cancun. Like
yeah, Mexico, just fucking trying to call people at the hotel. Found out where I was, bailed me out, but they agreed that I had to go home that day,
Like
fly
fly
out
home.
of Cancun and go back. But I was kicking rocks in the airport, going around asking people what time it was because I had no phone. I had $62.
wait, sorry, you were at the airport now.
Yeah, sorry. So they bailed me out of jail.
Yeah.
Stopped off at McDonald's. Lee's like, get a McDonald's. Like, yeah, he's probably pissed and hungry. I'm like, yeah, of course. Go back to my room. They had to come with me to my room, got my shit, went in the cab, went to the airport, flew home. Yeah.
Well, you actually came home.
Yeah. They said to let him out of jail, he's got to go home today.
Holy
It was a drunk tank. I mean, it was.
That was your first day there, but 2 days before the real trip started. Like
I wasn't even on the clock yet, and they're like, "Nah, you got to go, dude." I'm like, "Yeah, I get it."
and the
I only got
moment it
60
sucked, but that
minutes.
is a pretty crazy story.
That was like 2 years ago, and now I'm going back to Cancun for the first time. So hopefully, they don't remember me.
There's pictures all over downtown of bulldogs and coco bongos and everything. But like, Ronnie's coming in.
City.
It's like, you know the flashback in the Hangover movies where
Yeah,
they look
yeah,
at
yeah.
the camera. They had, like, there's probably a camera down
Yeah.
there with one of those.
Do you know what club it was that happened? Can we ask that?
Oh fuck.
I guess I'm
say
asking.
No,
I
I just
the same
pictured-
clubs. Is there any new ones? Like when we went,
No, it's all the same. It's all
like bulldogs.
I'm pretty sure they have like the if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of mentality.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of revamp
And
it.
the shows are probably the exact same. The Spider-Man one. The
That was
Coco
Bulldogs.
Bongo. Yeah.
Coco Bongo, yeah.
No, I think it was the city.
Yeah,
City's the massive.
So
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
picture
yeah.
him going this year. He's gonna walk in, look up, see the city sign. It's just gonna be a flashback of everything. The whole
Yeah, like
night.
comes back.
Post-traumatic stress or whatever it's
What's
called.
what's the movie?
PTSD,
What's the
yeah.
movie with Bradley Cooper where he takes the pill?
Oh, the Limitless.
Limitless.
Yeah, Limitless. And then he comes back. He can't remember anything. And then everything just comes back to him. That's what
I'm not the same guy I was then, and I don't even like to say that I was that kind of guy when that happened. I guess just whatever guy.
Hey,
put in
listen,
my system-
everybody
Hey,
makes
man.
strong
whatever I put in my
mistakes.
system that night got the best of me. I guess a lot of vodka.
Yeah.
Sort of
Everyone does. Hey, listen, like
And they got
we've
cheap
been to
vodka
Vegas.
down there. Like
Yeah,
they don't have
yeah.
like real Grey Goose. Their Grey Goose is Smirnoff. Their Smirnoff is.
No,
who
they buy
knows
they
what.
buy one case of bottles and they refill it with whatever
Yeah.
they got going on for that night, probably. But
It's,
I mean, hey, they make their money, right?
It's a
So-
crazy place. So Rick and I went twice.
Okay.
Like I was I was
I
coming
went
to
3
university.
times, yeah.
Yeah, you went first year. So my parents were always like, well, when I went to university, I was a lot quieter, very different than I was after I met this guy. I had
Okay.
like a pre-Ricky life, post-Ricky. Kind of came out of my shell.
Post Ricky.
Post-meeting Ricky.
Bring the best out of each
post-meeting,
other.
yeah.
But,
During Ricky,
but anyways, I was like quiet. My parents, the first year of university, were like, I went to Western and
Okay.
reading week happens. I knew Ricky in first year and he's like, I'm going to Cancun if you want to come, whatever. My parents like, no chance, you're going away. It's reading week. I was like, oh, okay.
It's spring break.
Yeah, for sure going to read. Anyway, second year rolls
I'm
around.
gonna go study, mom. It's good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna read the menu at the bar.
Second year rolled around. I told my parents, I'm like, I'm going to Cancun this year. Like, yeah, cool, whatever.
Sweet.
Anyways, then we went down the first time. I remember, like, I thought it was like the crazy. Cause at that point, you'd never been to Vegas. I hadn't really been anywhere to party. at that
When
point.
you're
I'm
first
like
time
19.
down there, you're like, whoa.
Yeah. You
Like,
see
I'm
the
never
lights.
leaving. Yeah.
You think it's the coolest place in the world. And
Yeah, yeah,
honestly, I still remember it very well. That's the first trip. Third year we went. That one's a little bit hazier.
Yeah.
I remember joking to my parents, like, because, you know, we told them stories after a second year trip. It was a lot of fun, whatever. Third year, I'm about to fly and I'm leaving. I never forget this. I'm getting out of the car. My mom dropped me off at the airport. I think she might have dropped us maybe both off, but
who knows?
we get out of the car. I'm like, she's like, be safe. I'm like, Mom, I'm going to black out in an hour. Like, as a joke, just to get her riled up.
You get off the plane, there's that tiki bar right when you get off with the bartender all happy to see you.
Yeah.
People selling cold beers beside the bus that you get on. I'll take
Right in the airport.
couple cervezas. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
But
remember our tequila
It's always
beers?
acceptable to get drunk in an
get
airport, no
the-
matter the time.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what I was going to say is that we stayed at the Cristal that year. The Oasis was like
That's
shut
a
down or
great
something.
hotel.
So we're at the Cristal. We remember that's what it's called? Cristal?
Yeah. I think
so. Yeah,
So we're
Cristal.
checking in. It's like right next to City or something.
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
right downtown.
Yeah. It's all part of that same kind of Cancun
little
strip.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we get out, we're checking in, and I remember to me and Rick, like, your room's not ready yet. So Rick's like, perfect, George, let's go, tequila beers. Literally, my mom called me like 3 hours before. She's like, we didn't hear from you yet. I'm like slurring a little bit. She's like, George, I thought you were joking. I was like, I'm misremembering all of this for sure. But I remember I actually legitimately almost blacked out like in an hour. And from that point on, the rest was downhill. Me and Ricky got a little tilly
Yeah.
down there.
You're just floating. You guys got in a fight, you said? With each other?
Yeah.
Talk about that. I don't know.
I don't know.
We got in a fight over a piece of chicken.
Hey, brothers fight, right? Me and Ryan fight all the time.
We literally almost fought, and you tell your story first before I get into
I
that.
choked him out, but
Yeah, he did.
So
I thought I was
first year-
tough. He chokes me out. A minute later, we get up. We hug, go back.
first year, it was either first
spring
year or
break for
second
you.
year. And we usually don't talk about crazy party stories, but this one is a funny one. So first or second year, I can't remember. Again, similar thing. Room's not ready. Okay, put my suitcase in the corner, like lock it up, whatever.
Yeah.
So I remember I bought this brand new Toronto Huskies hat, and I had these brand new Prada sunglasses.
Oh.
And mind you, when
you're making moves in university.
yeah, when you're
and
20
spring
years
break.
old or 19 years old, like Prada sunglasses, like those are your everything.
Oh, those are like
don't lose
Wait, the
those.
black Pradas?
Yeah, my
Oh,
black-
I have the
it's
same
time for
one?
spring break. You're just
No,
putting them
they're
on. you're
different
like,
ones.
let's
Or
go.
maybe
Yeah.
they were Police. It was a European brand. I think it was Prada or Police. So I remember we get there, whatever. 2 hours later goes by. I wake up in the bed, covered in sand. Like,
I definitely I was not there for this.
so maybe this was for sure. I'm like covered in sand, and I look. I'm like, I can't find anything. And I'm like, where? Like, what? So I see my suitcase. It's like neatly there. My shirt's neatly folded on my suitcase, and nothing else. I'm like, okay, my wallet's there, my phone's there, so I'm good. My necklace, and I used to have earrings. My necklace and my earrings are on, like, neatly placed on my phone. And I'm like, I don't remember a single thing. So I look, I'm like, my glasses and my hat were gone. And I was like, brand new hat, like the brim was still so fresh, and brand new glasses. I didn't even have a scratch on, brand new.
The Prada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was too hungover to go out that night. So maybe I didn't go out, or maybe I took it easy. Next morning, I wake up and I go down to the bar. The bar, like, right downstairs.
So you got day drunk and missed the night?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
cool.
So I get down there.
Typical.
The bartender looks at me. He's like, "Hey, man, how you feeling today?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "Man, you were wild last night." I was like, "What?" And then literally I go to the next bar. Same guy's like, "Oh my God, you remember running across the pool like you thought you could run on water?" I'm like, "What?"
This was the night that you thought you slept through?
No, this was like the day party.
Oh,
where I, like,
okay.
The 2 hours
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
just
yeah.
where I woke up naked in bed
seems-
covered in sand. Yeah, so apparently I was running on the bar, like drinking, putting my mouth under like the beer taps, just
Sounds
drinking,
about right.
pouring
Yeah.
tequila in my mouth at the same time. It was wild, and I wish I don't remember, but all the staff knew me the next day.
Oh, you
So
were
I
a
was like,
legend
guys,
then.
I'm
You're
like,
getting
where's my
service right
hat?
away
Where's
at
my
that point.
glasses? They're like, oh, we
Did
don't
you get
know.
them back?
You didn't
No.
have it.
Ah.
I had nothing.
Interesting story here. If you remove Cancun and you didn't know that, you could also replace that story for Ricky in any
city
party
in the
in
world.
first year of university.
So you know how to party is what you're saying.
Apparently,
Good on you.
right?
Rick knows how to
My
he knows how to have fun. Like, he keeps you safe.
Yeah.
No bumps and bruises and stuff.
Like
for
Frank the
most part.
Tank in the movie Old School.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
One speed.
Yeah, honestly, it is.
But I want
go
to
ahead.
rewind a little bit to in Ottawa. So you
Yeah, we
guys
kind of jumped right into
Yeah, we
Cancun.
jumped right into
We just got
Cancun.
excited. We're like, fuck it, let's get drunk.
I kind of want to go to Tulum now, not going to lie.
You guys are going to call me tomorrow. Guess what?
All right, we're going, Ronnie. You got
Just
space
for,
at the house?
For the record, we've done that a few times. We booked flights
Hey,
on a
listen,
whim.
I'll have extra space at the place. We have a couple extra rooms because I knew this might happen. And then we actually do have some boat parties that were thrown down. So if you guys want to maybe
Jeez.
do a live kind of thing on a cruise,
Twist my arm.
If they go to 3-day rapid testing.
So
grab your Pradas and let's go.
Another random story.
Love
When
it.
we were in Ibiza last year for my birthday, and you
good
obviously know Andrew and Joe, Loud Luxury.
Yeah. I just did their video. Yeah.
That's
Oh, no shit.
We're gonna get to it. Yeah, like gold. He's in it.
You're in it?
I'm the dude pounding his chest and flexing. Yeah.
That song, I was literally listening as I pulled up your 6 song.
So-
Shout out,
Yeah,
they're not,
shout out
Joe,
Andrew.
shout out Joe and Angela. Not hearing
So
this, but
they called me for my birthday, like, hey, happy birthday. I'm like, sick. I'm like, where are you? Like, oh, I'm in Ibiza. Like, oh, we're in Copenhagen. Come.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
And we're like,
and we just like stumbled in from, or not stumbled in, we came from the day party at
yeah,
that
like
point.
we're tuned. Like, we're having a good time.
For sure.
Yeah. Or you
And,
fly or something.
Yeah, it was just whatever. It was crazy. So we're like, oh, we can't go. Like, Copenhagen's the opposite direction of home, but we had no flights booked.
Wait, just for context, our flight home was out of Barcelona, and we were in Ibiza. So we had like a
4
2
days.
day. No, 2 days. We're halfway through. 2 days.
Yeah, you're
two,
right.
2 days with the flight from Ibiza to Barcelona, which is a 20-minute flight,
Okay.
and then fly home.
Okay.
Copenhagen is up north.
2 hours in the opposite direction.
Scandinavia. So yeah.
Yeah, so
So you had to do it.
yeah, they're like, oh, old Ricky would have came. Like, I remember when you used to be fun. I was like, man, don't.
Yeah, you won't.
You won't-
I
you won't-
remember
you won't
Joe
book it.
doing this. You won't do it, Rick. I'm next to him. He's like, I'm like, Rick, man, hanging the phone up. He's like, you won't do it. You won't do
He's
it.
like, old Ricky would have done this. 2015 Ricky would have done this, and I'm like, yeah, 2015. He's like, you're lame. You won't go. You won't go. And I'm like, all right. Well, you know what? Let me see if it's feasible.
Yeah.
So I hang up the phone with him. I look at George. George's like, I got points. Let's see if there's a flight with points. Within like a minute, we look at there's flights with points.
So it's meant to be.
It was
Yeah.
meant to be.
Yeah.
So we're like, let's flip a coin. Let's flip a coin. What's up, Jordan?
What's up, Jordan?
So we flip a coin, and turns out we ended up going.
Perfect.
So
Rick's
we-
like, flip this coin. I was like, fuck. And I flip it and I catch it. And I was like, guys,
You
we're
wanted
really
to go off the
committing.
jump,
Oh,
right?
he wanted to go. He wanted to go.
yeah.
more than
No,
we did.
I did, but I didn't because like I'm the most miserable person when I'm hungover or flying. Like after like a, like
I
a
feel you,
trip,
man. I'm a human
I'm
garbage
like
too the
just
next
like
day.
the worst.
Yeah.
So I knew the consequences of flying. I'm like, we're not gonna sleep going there. Like we're gonna be there 24 hours. Like it was literally a 24-hour trip. Or 18 hours. We landed in Copenhagen with 18 hours, and then we're flying straight across to Barcelona and home.
Okay.
So like literally just like back-to-back flights just to go there.
Yeah,
So
and
I did the math and I was
sweating
like,
out vodka.
Yeah. I was like, the story's gonna be good, but this is gonna suck.
That plane
The
ride
coin
home.
as it's in the air, I'm like, I know what's gonna happen. And Rick's like, we have to do what the coin says. And I think he said like tails, whatever. We go and I look and his tails. I like hit send, book the flights. FaceTimes Joe. Our flight was the next morning, 6 a.m.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Was
did
it?
you just stay tuned the entire time, or did you get some rest? And
We went out that night. Yeah, we went out that night. I
Yes.
can't tell that story on this podcast.
Yeah.
But we went out that night.
Yes.
you gotta tell me that story after.
I'll
then.
tell
That
you-
sounds
I'll tell you the
pretty
story.
good.
I'll tell you the story.
Yeah. So we went out, flew, landed at like
Landed at 2 p.m. and they said they were playing this. It was a radio show.
Okay.
Like we're playing this small radio show, and then the nightclub at night. We're like, okay, what do you think when you hear a radio show? Like I think like Z1035. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
say.
A small little studio.
Yeah.
So okay, so now I'm talking to Greg, their tour manager. He's like, okay, I'm gonna send you all the details, yada yada. Perfect. Okay, meet us at Tivoli Gardens at this time. Blah blah blah.
Hey, you said that pretty good.
Yeah, I'm like, sick. Okay, Tivoli Gardens. I have no idea what that is.
Sounds like they were setting you up a little.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we started walking. There's so many young people. There's young people everywhere. Okay.
And Tivoli Gardens is like the amusement park.
Yeah.
In
It's
the
the
middle.
oldest amusement park in Europe.
in the world, I think.
Europe?
In the
Oh,
I think
world?
I think it's the world.
Maybe.
Oh wow.
It's like very not like Wonderland.
What's
It's
it
like
called?
Tivoli
Okay,
Gardens.
okay.
Yeah, Tivoli Gardens.
Fun
So-
fact: Steve Angelo has a song called Tivoli. But anyways, continue.
So we get there and there's like thousands of people. So we walk up in front, we're like, hi, we're with Loud Luxury. Like Greg sent us here. They're like, yeah, no problem. Like walk up to the side. So they took us to this like side little room that
the
overlooks.
hotel.
Yeah. This,
Yeah.
That overlooked this massive like amusement park basically with a
Yeah.
massive stage on the other end and like 20,000
Yeah.
people there.
It's a,
It's
it's
a full-blown
festival.
It's a
festival.
full-blown festival.
It's a
It's not like,
full-blown
you know, like
festival. Not a
Jingle
radio
Ball
show.
or
No.
like one of those like
Yeah, yeah.
Virgin 99
Yeah,
like
yeah, exactly.
festivals. Yeah, that's what it was. So we're there. And we're like, we were not expecting this at all. We're dressed like normally. Which
God, I didn't bring my
make a
Pradas.
I knew you loved that. Yeah.
I feel. I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Callback joke. I love
We
that.
always joke. I love callback jokes.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
says
That was a
Thank
really
you.
good one.
I thought of it. I was like, all right, here we
That
go.
might be the best callback we've ever had on the show.
that was a good one. So we end up going. We end up having this wild night. The next morning, our first flight, which was a connecting flight,
Okay.
left at 8 a.m. We got in at 5, 6 ish.
Anything before noon. it's
Yeah,
like,
so it was 8 a.m.
Yeah.
We had a 2-hour flight from. It was from
Yeah, where did we stop?
Copenhagen to Berlin, and then Berlin to Barcelona. But we had 3 seats, and I'm the only guy that can actually stay in the middle. Like it doesn't kill me to be in the middle.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
So
I hate
George
it.
has to be window, like has to be
Yeah.
window, and you know that, especially when he's hungover and grumpy.
But it depends how. Anyways, I'm not getting into my theory, but any flight under 5 hours, or if we're going somewhere like Vegas, Miami, I sit down because you want to get up, move a little bit.
Yeah, you want to do your
theory
thing. You
behind
need a
it.
little,
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
shoulder
shoot
room.
it. Yeah,
Kia
yeah,
was with us. You know Kia, Kia Kavosi. If you don't, you're gonna meet him in Tulum. He's down there. He's with Ryan. You'll meet him.
If I saw his face, I'm so horrifying with names.
No, trust me.
But if I
You'll
saw
just
his
meet
face,
him by
I'm like,
chance. He says hi to everybody.
Yeah,
He meets
says hi to-
everybody.
So
Like,
you'll see him down
he's a
in
good dude.
Tulum,
Yeah, he's a
and
good guy.
you'll,
Good guy.
you'll love him.
Okay.
He's a beauty. So we were with him. So he's on the aisle, George in the middle, and I'm just stuck in the middle, like just dying. Or George was on the window, sorry. And George and I'm in the middle, just dying, sleeping on my knapsack.
yeah. You were the weirdest sleeper. I've never seen somebody in like an 8-hour flight hold their bag and sleep face down.
He needed a
Scary.
companion. He had the Sunday scaries. He needed to cuddle something.
But anyway,
We had a little tangent there.
I want to go back to Ottawa.
Okay.
And so you started, which is nightlife promotions.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned quickly that you guys opened the club.
Yeah. So I was 23, or was I 23? Yeah, I was 23, and Ryan was 23 or 22 at the time. And
Sorry, what year are you?
91.
You guys
Oh,
are
some,
91.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much
We're
same as
90s,
us. Yeah.
Okay, cool. My birthday's in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or
So you're-
December
oh,
15th.
So you're gonna be down.
So you're a Capricorn?
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Not that I believe in it, but everybody apparently asked me.
So you're gonna be down to Tulum for your birthday too.
You're a Sagittarius? Yeah. Oh, it makes sense. What does that mean?
Rick does that. It's pretty good.
I don't want to tell you.
Anyway,
We're gonna
but,
get
yeah.
no. So we opened a club called Plur.
Plur, okay.
Yeah, it was very like graffiti oriented, cool. You had to walk down this tunnel to get into it, and it was graffitied out. That was like looked cool in the dark. It was like kind of like a highlighter graffiti. And man, we were so nervous opening night. Like our parents came, our aunts and uncles came.
I love that though.
Yeah, that was
that.
so sweet. And then we had the first 2 hours for them, and me and Ryan were like shaking because we went from like being marketing managers and like a DJ and MC, and then we went on this big business venture to open up this nightclub, and we did, thankfully. And then we walked outside, and we're like, "Is there anybody here?" And I always remember this. Me and Ryan walked up the tunnel, looked right, and it was all the way down to the next block, and then turned the corner, the lineup for the club.
So that's a good feeling.
Yeah, and then we were like, "Okay, this is sweet." And then it stayed open for a while, and then we both left, and then here we are.
I want to ask,
Wow.
Yeah.
what was the biggest thing you learned about opening that?
The back end of it. There's a lot of stuff that you wouldn't know just by looking at a nightclub of how like there's like a managerial aspect to it and how much that goes into the success of a nightclub and how important different roles are in terms of like your staffing. Like if you're short a busboy, it's a nightmare. Or if you're short a server, it's, you know what I mean? There's so many different variables that make a successful nightclub what it is. And when you kind of look at it from that aspect, you gain a whole new respect for it. And I think that's what me and Ryan really gained from that experience, is a whole new respect for the different roles. And it's not just going and getting drunk and bringing people and standing and jumping around. You know, there's like
everybody thinks that is, right?
a lot of the time, yeah. But like when you have an understanding of like the back end of it, you like I said, you gain a whole new respect for it. And we learned that quick.
That's actually what I was going to ask you, and you said it as I was thinking it. Like, do you think that that's what kind of that experience and what you learned from that has given you that newfound respect for the nightlife industry and kept you in it still? Like, you kind of
definitely
appreciate
helped.
more than just like
Yeah.
do you still look at it as like now it's a party, or do you look at it now like the business side more? And
I think Ryan and I will always look at it like it's a party.
Okay,
But that kind
fair.
of helps us with the business aspect of it too, right? I mean, we have that joy with it still, that continuous happy vibes, and kind of like we just love to be here.
GVO.
GVO.
Good vibes only.
Oh, there you go. Exactly. And we kind of keep that kind of playful mindset with it, but then we also have a very good understanding for the business side of it, which we respect. But we always bring that kind of GVO to the
yeah.
That's
the
how
table
you know,
with
yeah,
it,
that's
you
when
know?
you know it's time to stop, when you don't love something anymore. Like, I don't know if
Yeah.
you noticed, I was in nightlife for 9 or 10 years
Okay.
prior.
Long
And
time.
yeah, so I started when I was maybe 17, 18, and I did it all in Toronto. I did all King Street. I did EFS.
Oh, very cool.
I did Lost and Found, Cobra, which I don't know if you would have been here by then, but Skybar, Gov, everything. And I stopped when it came to the point I was doing EFS Fridays and Lost and Found Saturdays, which were both killer parties.
Yeah.
And it came to the point where I didn't enjoy it anymore. I was like,
Yeah.
I'd rather just attend these events as a person and pay for my booze than work it and get paid, because I wasn't enjoying it. People come at 12:30 and it's slammed outside and they're breaking your balls, telling you how you
Blowing
ruined
up
their
your
night
phone and
because you couldn't
Yeah.
get them in. When you told them, I was like, I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. $500 for it. It's not worth it. Like I want to come and I want to enjoy my night out with my friends.
Yeah.
Like, it's your girlfriend's birthday and you got to worry about the drunk idiots who came 30 people in a school bus to share 3 bottles.
Or that guy who hasn't spoken to you in years says, "Oh, Rick, what's up? Are you lost tonight?
Yeah,
are you
drinks
EFS?
at Lost and Found. Yeah, can I get in with 4 other dudes?" It's like, yeah, for sure, man, no problem. Of course, it's 12:30, and the weekend just walked in, and you're gonna get in with 4 people. Like, what?
Yeah.
I'm having trouble getting in with like my best friends. And
I work here and I could barely get in.
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna get you in right now? Like, what? Oh man, come on.
It's tough, man. It's a tough scenario.
I didn't enjoy it anymore.
It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with when it gets rocking in a certain way. But it comes with
No, sorry. Go ahead. I cut you off. There you go.
No, I was just saying, like, it's a lot to handle, especially in an event of that nature, right?
Yeah.
It comes with
I honestly do have a respect for people on one side that can that work in the nightlife industry, promote all that stuff. I was never on the promoting side. I DJ'd through university and stopped shortly after.
Okay.
But
this is a good transition, George. I like that.
What do you mean? No, I was just gonna say that I personally I respect Ricky and him and Alexander, one of our other really good friends. Shout out to Alex. They did it for years. Did a very good job. Did some sick events, but I always watched them people meshing them last minute, like you said, at midnight. Yeah. And they almost treat you like an object, not a person, right? They expect something out of you. It's like, oh, I came last week and spent this, or I'm always going to do this, or I'll buy this. And they don't really look at you like, hey, you're a buddy. Can you help me out? Or they say, do you mind? It's always like, I expect you to do this for me. And I always found that very interesting that people...
It's annoying sometimes to deal with, especially when you're dealing with a lot. Then you get this person who's like, why am I not in yet? Or it's like, I'm out front, come now. And then you go out front and they're 3 minutes away because they wanted to try and time it. But now you're standing up, you know what I mean? That's one of the things that would piss me off the most, man. Because I always try and if somebody asks me to come out, I hate going out front because then all of a sudden there's 15 more people that you didn't know that were out front.
Yeah, you get suckered
and then run out front. You're like, and let's say it's a close friend. Dude, I'm here. Where are you? Oh yeah, I'll be there in 3 minutes. It's like, fuck, you said you were here.
I'm just 2 lights away.
Yeah, but it's like, in their mind, I'm going to tell them I'm here. So by the time they actually take their 10th shot and walk out and get through, then we're going to meet the perfect. But if you actually help bust your balls to get out there, they're definitely about 5 minutes away. And that was always the most annoying thing for me is when they weren't actually there when
people would be like, oh, it's just me and 2 people. It's like, well, you plus 4 people and they're all dudes. Like,
yeah.
Okay, you guys get on the table, obviously. Oh, well, we were just going to join yours. Like,
No.
You know that meme I would say the Nick Young one?
The Nick Young.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
It's definitely an interesting business to be in, man, and it's fast paced, and when it's a lot to handle, It definitely is.
Do you think you would open a nightclub again?
Yeah. There's some things in the work.
Toronto?
Yeah.
Wow, a little sneak peek.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to say too much on it, but we got a couple venues.
Really?
Yeah. So
weighing, you mean a couple as in you're looking to do something big, or just weighing your options right now?
One's 100% confirmed.
Wow.
Yeah, we already have the name, the branding, the location, everything.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, when it releases, we'll get you.
Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you.
No, awesome.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're very excited about that one, and then we have 4 or 5 other venues that we're looking at and that we're kind of in talks with, and that with different partners and stuff.
Awesome.
And we're very excited. And this is kind of a sneak peek, and maybe I shouldn't have said anything, but kind of laying low until we have not been laying low, but
laying low. Okay, we're going to Tulum next
our
week.
condo parties and our whatever. But plan on coming out of COVID with a bang. So
that's good.
Some cool new concepts and venues and parties.
Has COVID, the situation, did it help or hurt? Were you planning on doing this regardless? Did some opportunities arise that you could
It was in the plans beforehand.
Okay.
But it wasn't really going to start until about closer to the spring and summer anyway. So it kind of gave us a little bit more time on the creative aspect and a little bit more time to kind of buckle down and really be like, hey, what do we want to do, and who do we want to do it with, and how do we want to approach this? So we really kind of put our heads down for a little bit, and we thankfully got it done. So we're excited to kind of release it.
I was just going to ask, on that front, in terms of doing that, you said the branding and all that stuff. Do you like to be involved, or are you involved in all aspects? Do you guys do you bring
I
other
need
people
to be
in?
involved in the branding. I'm very, very OCD and very picky, and so is Ryan.
Okay.
So we need to be involved with the creative and the branding and the marketing and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's very smart on the managerial aspect as well. He's really good with numbers.
Okay.
And he's really good at just knowing certain things of how it's going to play out, and we kind of complement each other in that aspect.
A yin and a yang.
Yeah.
That's very good. It's very
important.
important.
No, we really have to be involved with it because we're kind of OCD in how we like to get things done.
Yeah.
And we have been since we met each other when we were 17, bartending at a student bar. So
Love it. Yeah. I just say, I love when people, I know that COVID's a tough time, but I love when people take this time to either reset and refocus or pivot on their direction, or if they just buckle down and focus and get going.
Yeah.
So obviously
you
it's a time
right?
You think so the average person might think, why would you open a club during this time? But it's there's opportunities that this is once this lockdown does end, there are new opportunities. There are ways to
big time, man, big time
to create new venues because there's so many shutting down, but people still want to go out. There's
100%,
always going to be
and
need to go out and drink and party.
Yeah, and I've always said this. It's like right now, it's like a slingshot, right? And the further you pull us back from doing what we want to do, when the time comes to go, we're just going to go even harder.
Yeah,
right? It's a slingshot effect.
Think about the summer. We were on lockdown for 3 months. The day lockdown ended and places opened, everything was busy.
It was crazy.
Look at Trinity Bellwoods. That
you couldn't get a table on a patio. Yeah,
you couldn't.
Like at all. So on King Street, sorry, or anywhere for that matter. But it's like the slingshot effect. The harder you pull us back, the harder we're gonna go.
I never really thought about that. That's a good analogy to use.
The longer the lockdown goes, the further the sling gets pulled back, right? And then boom, it's over. It's going forward.
And that's interesting because some people, like, they say, you hear a lot of stuff like, nightlife's changed forever, airlines changed forever, restaurants changed forever, all this stuff. I mean, and this is like, I don't remember what it was like during swine or H1, all these other pandemics, but I mean,
it wasn't
if
this
I remember,
bad, that's for sure.
No, but I remember correctly, people probably, back in the day when Anthrax was going on, you thought you open your mail, something bad's happening. People open their mail like nothing now. Right? Things kind of go to hindsight. Maybe this one was a little more longer, drawn out, more drastic. But I do agree that people there's still a large majority, whether they're young people, healthy people who were going out before, maybe a little more cautious, but people are still at some point or another going to go back out again.
I mean, half the city's in Tulum for that fact, right?
People are crazy.
People are figuring it out one way or another.
Like you, everyone just booked a one way because they say, you know what, I'm just going to go and figure it out when I'm down there.
Yeah, why is hopefully this isn't like a dark winter and it's not like a shitty winter where everything's on lockdown or whatever. Hopefully it does get a little better, which I think it will come January, hopefully. Yeah. But if there's an option, why choose the one that's not as appealing as the other? Essentially, is what it comes down to. And if you could do it, do it. Right? Yeah. Why stay here and be in your condo when it's freezing outside when you can go work on your
work from a different place?
Yeah, on a beach
that's the thing too. In hindsight,
if you're lucky enough to do so, but
for sure. In hindsight, when the first lockdown happened, we have a family business, so we were remote and we let all our employees work remote, but we kept everybody employed. But we thought the lockdown was going to happen for a short time. Our business is an essential service. We're in cleaning. So we were still busy doing stuff. Good. Yeah. But we also just assumed, okay, 2-week lockdown. Then it was like 2 more weeks. So, okay, it's going to come back at some point.
6 months.
In hindsight, I think a lot of people were like that, right? They didn't know when it was going to end, just extending. Like, if people, looking back, a lot of people could have hopped on a flight early on, taken the safe precautions, and just worked remotely from anywhere, really.
Yeah, I know a couple of people that have done that.
Yeah, it's good. Honestly, good
for their sanity and for everything. Really.
Yeah, it makes a big difference walking out and it's pitch black at 5 p.m. when you finish work and it's freezing cold, or you walk out. You can go for a nice walk to the local grocery store, get fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, and see the beach in 10 minutes. Right?
100%. Yeah, it's a different kind of mindset that it puts you in for sure.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I'm switching here.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. The best event you've ever thrown.
Oh, that's tough, man.
Or ever been a part of, at least.
Me and Ryan have thrown some pretty interesting parties. We've done boat parties with just me, him, and Justin Bieber. We've done
the Biebs.
Yeah.
Let's hear that.
Oh, that was just your regular old boat party.
Regular old boat party, hanging out with the Biebs.
We didn't know it was going to happen until the day of, and then they contacted us in Ottawa, and they're like, get X amount of people and fill the boat. And we're like, okay, so we did it, and it was a lot of fun. And then it goes from that to man. I've emceed NBA All-Star Weekend events at clubs. I've emceed at Coco Bongo, Oro in the Hard Rock.
Oro in the Punta Cana Hard Rock?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Where else? Man, some crazy events.
Well, you guys do
the Shawn Mendes concert that he had recently at the what's it called? Rogers Arena.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, we did a little after party for him. That was a lot of fun.
Sick.
We got to get Shawn Mendes on this pod.
Sean, we're coming for you, buddy. Guy's a beauty.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Very humble, very nice guy.
I feel like he would be.
He is.
Just seems like.
Wait,
he hangs out like you see Petty Cash on Blog TH hanging out at airport and drinks.
Just be a nice guy. Yeah.
Man, what else? Anything with sports is always fun too.
Yeah.
If we can, I've always wanted to do some sort of a Super Bowl party. That'd be a lot of fun.
We did so many Super Bowl parties in London, and I hate to talk bad about any of my own events, but if I wasn't working them, looking back, I wouldn't have attended them. They were just like typical club events, shitty, crappy bar Super Bowl food, and the chili's gross, and the lines are always terrible because it's not a restaurant, it's a nightclub.
Yeah.
And they put TVs and they put projectors, but they were never that good.
Yeah.
Like looking back,
You're going there to have one nacho and then the rest of the bottle. Of
Yeah.
vodka.
you're just,
$1
you're just
beers.
boozing the whole time, right?
You're going there to get drunk. You're not doing much else.
Yeah.
Of all the places that you've been to, whether like travel wise,
Yeah.
do you have one that's a favorite that you go back?
I would
to in a
move
heartbeat?
to Brazil today
Really?
My peoples.
in a heartbeat.
I'm Brazilian.
No
My
way.
mom was born and raised.
Oh, okay, cool.
I used to go to
That's
Brazil
my
every year.
favorite place in the planet.
Really?
I would move there like today.
So what?
Yeah, I
What
stayed there
makes
for.
it?
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I stayed there for 2 weeks. I stayed on Ipanema Beach in Rio, and then I went to Florianopolis.
Florianopolis is nice.
Oh, it's beautiful.
My cousin lives up there. Or he has
Oh, it's unreal.
a condo or whatever
Yeah.
up there. And he's been spending all of COVID there. He bought this GoPro, and his videos are insane.
That the place
Yeah.
you said it's like very like lively, young.
Oh
like,
man, the passion,
It's
the
like a
culture,
really rich place. It's
everything.
like the
Rich.
rich part of Brazil.
Oh,
like
rich.
rich.
And then I went back to Rio after Floripa, and I was like, I could live here.
I can already tell
Really?
my mom's
Yeah.
about to like DM. I'm like, oh, how did you like it? Did you go to this place? Did you go-" My mom
Tell her,
gets
man, I
bored.
love talk. I'll talk to Brazil. I'll talk about Brazil as much
My
as I can.
mom's
It's
gonna
my,
DM you,
my
serious.
favorite place on the planet that I've been to.
When
is
did you
Brazil.
go?
Pre-jail or post-jail? Pre-Mexico, post-Mexico.
Free, thankfully. Yeah.
Rick's like, yes, got one.
Wasn't as good as his.
That's a good one.
though.
That's a good
Thankfully,
one.
it was before the Mexican jail stint that I
Okay.
had. The little drunk tank action.
Yeah,
No, man, but it's so cool. Like Ipanema Beach. You've been?
No, I've never been to
No?
Ipanema Beach. No.
So how it is there's like 12 posts, I think, if I remember correctly, and they're about 1 kilometer apart. And there's like a bathroom station, and then there's a workout station with like bars and everything. So we're staying on a condo on Ipanema Beach. So I would wake up, leave the condo, go to like one of the posts on the beach, get a workout in, and then go to the beach. And then everyone there is just so loving and passionate. The culture is amazing. Like I was walking in a grocery store, I didn't know how to say something. Somebody stopped with a big smile on their face and helped me say it. Like and I had no idea who this person was. And it was just, yeah, I'm sure like just like anywhere, there is obviously
The bad
some
parts,
crazy
yeah.
dangerous parts in Rio. And I did go to the favelas. I checked it out, which was nuts.
The
But-
shaggy towns on like the side of the highways. Yeah.
yeah, where there's like the houses on top of each other in the hills.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's also different. You're what, 6'3"?
Oh, I stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, you're not an easy target for like some of these people, right?
No, and I was like fresh off of football, so I was like 40 pounds heavier and like just big and so white. I was see-through at the time because I didn't go down prepared with a tan at all. I was walking out
that nice
crisp
tan
and
skin.
I grabbed my football and a bottle of vodka with my buddy, and I have like these short pink shorts on. I'm walking down the street in Brazil, and people are looking at me like, "What is this kid doing here?"
This guy's definitely not from here.
No, I stuck out like crazy, but I would move there today.
Did you find it unsafe at any point? Because you always hear stories of Brazil, like
So actually, funny story. I always heard about like getting shit thrown on you. I know this sounds really weird.
literal shit.
Literal shit. And then a guy but you wouldn't notice. And then a guy would come to like shine your shoes and be like, hey, like, let me shine your shoes. They're dirty. And like, they're fuck off. They're not dirty. And you look down, you'd have shit on your shoe. Be like, okay, give him a quick shine. And then you get surrounded by kids and they would jack you and like not knowing what's going on. So you're going to laugh. So actually my buddy, me and Ryan's close best friend, JP, is actually in Tulum with us right now. I'm going to go meet them. So he was with me on this trip. I'm walking down the street, probably in those pink shorts that I just mentioned. And
This guy's good. Good
He's
storyteller.
done this.
Good
Thank you,
storyteller.
thank
Done
you.
this before.
Yeah.
I love a good story. And then I feel this like on my foot. I'm like, what the fuck? So I look down and I'm not fucking joking. There's a turd, like a slimy fucking gross turd on my foot. And so I panic. I'm like, huh. So I fling my foot forward and JP's in front of me. I will never forget this story. I tear up with laughter every time I tell it. Pack slams the back of his leg and he's like, Ronnie, what the fuck? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. And like we're both like fucking banshee screaming in the middle of Rio on the street because we just had somehow shit land on us, and all these stories are going through my head about like, am I gonna get swarmed by little kids now? And fucking, I don't even think I had pockets on those shorts to begin with, but I don't know what the fuck was
Guy
going
just
on.
holding his wallet, his phone, and shit everywhere.
So we're
It's those
checking shit, looking
shorts that
around,
are too
panicking.
short, that the phone's hanging out.
JP's sweating and screaming, and we're fucking freaking out. And then the other guys that were with her were like laughing because they were like more of a nervous laugh of like, oh fuck, okay, something might go down. But then this woman, she's like trying to tell me what's happening, and I don't know if she's on my side or against me. I'm like, fuck off, not right now. So I'm like, nope, don't. I can't. Nobody talk to me. I gotta figure out where this shit came from. And then so I look, and there's this old guy with like this tied up bag and this little, I kid you not, and this little box that obviously you would put your foot on in your shoe. First of all, I wasn't wearing shoes. I was wearing flip-flops. Went on my bare foot. What the fuck was he going to clean? Secondly, he's like waddling away down the street. I'm like, this actually just happened. So then we calmed down, go to the beach, I scrub my foot in like a panic, and we had a good laugh after it. But the first day I was there walking to the beach, the story that I heard about getting shit thrown on you, I got shit thrown on me. Mind you, like I said, I was 40 pounds heavier at the time. I was fucking.
They probably threw that
out
turd. Like, oh, wrong guy. We wanted that guy in front.
No, it wasn't that. It's just I stuck out so crazily at the time.
Yeah.
And,
He's probably like, bring it on, little kids. I'll mess you all
But
up.
you standing around looking around.
You know what's funny?
screaming.
Now I'm gonna be on the lookout if I go down to Brazil because we were talking about going.
Yeah.
We were actually talking about going.
We were supposed to go this
February.
year.
I thought I was in Tong flip flops. I thought it was safe, but apparently not. They want to clean your feet too. There.
Didn't pack any shoes because you're scared to get a turd thrown on your shoe.
But I kid you not, man. Shit, boom, right on my foot.
I
First
love
day.
That's
that.
crazy.
Slap too, eh?
Thank
you. Yeah.
Good
Thank you.
storyteller.
You're a good storyteller.
Thank
man.
you. I appreciate it. I'm
No,
trying to get to your
of
guys' level. So I knew I had to bring my A game. I've
Do-
watched
do
a
you
couple of these
know,
podcasts.
man,
No, you're
When people
honestly.
do the
this is like
comeback
this is good.
stories.
Yeah,
When people
yeah.
do the comeback jokes. I'm just like, it makes me happy because I'm like, that's my thing, and like, I love it. Well, it's
Yeah.
not my thing, but I do it on this podcast.
Yeah,
Thank you. No, it was Brazil, man, in a heartbeat today.
Have you been
I have
back since?
a bunch
Just
of crazy.
that one time.
Just that next time I go, I'll probably move there. But it was just that one time. Yeah,
If you do go, let me know. My cousin.
I will 100%.
So it's not my cousin. It's my mom's cousin's son. So like kind of like our cousin.
Okay.
But he's like cool dude, like Jack, tatted. He has this place up in Florianopolis. So
Oh,
we were
dope.
supposed to go. We were actually going to go this February coming up for
yeah.
Carnival. It's I just turned 30
Okay.
recently, so we're gonna do a kind of
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you. So when we found out we were supposed to do Bali, once we found out Bali got canceled because of COVID, we decided we're gonna do Brazil. Brazil's numbers obviously turned out to be way worse than most places.
Yeah.
So we kind of put a kind of kibosh that.
Yeah.
But the idea was that we were gonna go do Rio, Sao Paulo. Yeah, just
It's amazing,
I
man.
still have
You'll love
family
it.
in Rio too,
Yeah.
which is
You
really.
could probably spend what, like 3 weeks
Sorry,
or
Sao
three
Paulo,
a
sorry.
month in like just seeing Brazil. You probably wouldn't see like nearly all
No.
of
Well,
it.
it's
There's so
massive,
many
right?
things
And the
to do,
north
man.
and the south
Yeah.
are completely different. And then there's like the rainforest aspect of it, which we don't have anywhere in like this side of the
Nowhere.
world.
For
sure.
Or sorry, this northern part
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
world, right? So like the amount of animals and wildlife and rainforest, the things you can see is just you
It's
can't
amazing. Man.
imagine.
I did
it.
everything when I went there. I went to Sugar Mountain, where it's like you're basically in a cloud. Like you could touch a cloud because the mountain's so high and it brings you up
Really?
there. I did the Christ the Redeemer, obviously, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
you have
yeah.
to do. Get the picture in front of it,
I almost got a
Uh,
tattoo of that when I was a kid, actually.
Yeah,
That
that'd
crazy
have been a cool tattoo.
That's what I was gonna do.
bad, actually.
No, man, it's
You're a
great.
Brazilian. You could do it.
Yeah, rep the hometown.
Have you done anything else in South America or just Brazil?
Just Brazil
Okay.
and all the spring break places.
Okay. fair. Yeah,
I love that you're going back there. It's like I can just picture you envisioning exactly the moment that.
Oh
everything
yeah, I'm
happened.
gonna have a lot of memories come back. Part of the reason why I'm going back is so I can try and get a flashback to see what happened. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Like I always said I would never go back to Cancun, and actually lately, this is like a very
I said
weird
that every
segue.
I said that every year for about the past decade.
I
So
think we said
Yeah.
that about Vegas a couple times too.
Now Vegas, I will always go back. I just had one crazy. My 25th birthday was like next level.
in Cancun,
No, Vegas.
Oh,
And we
boy.
always say we're never gonna go back, but like lately, every time I go, I'm like I have the best time. And
when you say that out loud, you know you're trying to reassure yourself or
it's
trying
like,
to
I'm
convince
never
yourself you're
drinking
not going
ever
back.
again.
But it's like it's just a
How
hangover.
many times George said
You're
I'm
going
not
back
drinking again? I'm not drinking.
I think I said a couple days ago.
every
6 months,
Sunday.
I'm not drinking.
Every Sunday.
Sober October lasted 6 days.
I actually
False,
haven't.
10.
Funny enough, I actually haven't had a drink since October 31st.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you. Wow. So it's almost
That's
you're gonna make
almost
a
a
month.
month,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
sounds.
I knew I was
sorry,
going
that
to a beach.
sounds-
I'm like, okay, I got to buckle down, Shane.
That's
and-
it.
No, it's good. Honestly, and it kind of sounds a little bit bad. Like I was gonna do sober October with a buddy of mine.
Yeah.
Then Joe Rogan always does. So we're like, let's try it.
Yeah.
Not that I drank a lot during COVID, but like what's 1 month? I think I did it earlier at the beginning when lockdown first happened. But then I was like, you know what? Whatever. Like give it a try. And I find when you tell yourself you can't do something, you're not allowed to do it. It makes you want to do it a lot more.
Oh, for sure.
Like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, no
That's like
drinking.
when going out, it's hard to tell people you're not drinking.
Yeah,
Because they're going to
yeah.
be like, here, just do one. But if you have like a soda in your hand, like, they're not
Yeah.
gonna say shit.
Yeah,
I've done
yeah.
that so many times at events where I haven't drank.
Shots of water. You ever do those ones?
Maybe once, but I did the old trick where I would take a shot and keep it in my mouth. I learned this from Coyote Ugly, actually. Great movie.
Beer bottle.
Yeah, but I would have a vodka soda.
Oh,
like a
smart.
spit glass, but I wouldn't be like.
Sorry, I ruined your story there.
No, you're good.
No, I just got excited about Coyote Ugly
No,
for some
but
reason.
one
I
of
remember
the-
the
classic. It's a
I've done it
classic.
before.
Trust
I've
me,
done
I
it
get
before. I've
excited
done it
every time I
once
talk
before.
about it too.
Yeah,
But
it's a good trick.
I wasn't like horking a loogie in this vodka soda or anything, but I was like silently trying to get the
Yeah,
vodka
yeah.
back in the cup without showing anybody.
When you go down to Tulum now, is your plan just to stay in Tulum? Like, is any plan to venture around? Maybe go.
So
back
originally, I wasn't even going to go to Tulum. I was just going to go right to Miami on December 10th and then do my birthday in Miami with Ryan and everybody. And then he's like, I'm going to Tulum. I'm like, sick, have fun. And then I was like, all right, cool. And then
and then that's when you started.
and then I started like,
convincing him.
and then he started bringing it up a little bit more. And he goes, yeah, I'm leaving like it's third week in November, and then we're not going to see each other to December 10th. And he goes, do you want to just come? I'm like, I don't know, dude. And then I was like thinking about it, watching videos, and then it starts, the
then he sends you
wheels
the
start
Bash Brother
turning.
videos.
Exactly. Call back. There you go. Fuck yeah. Unreal. Yes. We're rocking. No.
We're killing it.
And then
Freaking couch is not.
Yeah, couch is annoying.
Sorry,
squeaky
listeners.
and then I was like, fuck it, let's do it. I'm like, let's do Tulum. I'm like, I'll come beginning of December. And then on the 10th, we'll go to Miami. And now I think we just might, we don't even know what we're doing on the 10th. We booked it one way. We might just stay in Tulum for the whole thing, and then I'll come back and he'll stay because I don't think he's coming back anytime soon. And then I'll go meet him up again.
Back.
But I was like, you know what? On the 9th, I'm like, if we want to leave, let's leave. Fuck it. Let's go to Miami. If we want to fucking go to Nashville, let's pick a place and just go. It could be so totally random, or it could be a place that's like Miami or whatever, like that's common. Or it could be Dallas, or it could be anywhere, right? Or we might just stay in Tulum. Or, funny enough, we might do a week at a resort in Cancun. Just
for old time's sake.
For old time's sake.
I was just going to say, I've known you for a short time, but I have a feeling come December 10th, there's going to be some crazy story that comes out of this. Like, you're going to end up somewhere.
Guys, put us back on the podcast. We got something to tell you.
In the new year, we're
Well, no, listen, in the new year, for sure, when you're a new venture and all that stuff, we'll have to get you back on.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
No, of course. And I mean, like, I don't know if I speak about this. I'm itching. Like, I actually am itching to go back out, even to the point of saying, like not the not drinking thing. Like I go on weekends, it's fun. Most weekdays I come home from work, I don't like need to drink. But even now, you're so locked up. I have a little bar cart. Every night I'm home, I stare at it. I'm like, I really miss going out and drinking with people.
Man, that pre-drink hits.
Yeah.
The music turns up a little bit.
Yeah.
The people come through your door. Everyone does a shot.
I miss pre-drinks.
Yeah, and that's the last parties we were throwing up until the recent lockdown. Last call was 9 p.m.
Yeah.
It's like we don't go to dinner until 9 p.m.
Well, we were supposed to have him on last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're scheduled for 7. He's like, I got to be at the bar by 7. We're like, oh, yeah. Last call.
I'm like, I'm going to be partying around 7.
Closes at 9.
Yeah.
Places, you got to get out by 10.
Speaking of pre-drinks, we should have had the pre-drink here at 6.
That's what
We should have. We should have.
I didn't think of that.
Today's Wednesday. Keep track of days.
We got a couple bottles of wine, a couple beers.
Oof, I got to stay sober until my flight.
Yeah, no, you're
yeah.
working on the abs.
Then I got to...
He's got to go in strong.
I got one more I got to get out.
He's got to stay strong.
I'm slowly losing them. I have like one left.
I got to get my one more out, and then
I
boom,
that,
completely off the deep end as soon as
Yeah.
I get on that flight.
I want to ask, what was that like with the parties going? Because I hadn't been now to a club or bar when that changed. Like, I went been to restaurants before that, but then after that kind of flipped to earlier last call, I hadn't gone out. So what was that like? Were people still going out?
So funny you should say that, and I'll reference back to that slingshot reference that I made before.
Yeah.
Me and Ryan were lucky enough to, like, we got approached by multiple different venues to work and help out with parties, which we were all for because we wanted to do it. But it was easier this time around for us because people were so hungry to go out and do something that when they found out that we were doing something, they're like, hey, what do we need to do to be there? You know, what's the capacity? Can we be there? Can we come? We just want to go out. We want to have fun. We want to go back to feeling some sense of normalcy. So it's kind of almost easier for us in that respect. We didn't have to hit up anybody to
Really
fill a venue.
Kind of like you say where you're going, and you had your weekly things, and that's it.
Because like people, like the slingshot thing, like I mentioned before, people were in lockdown for so long that they just wanted to go out and do something.
Well, especially like I think everyone was having like one last supper, one last party. Like this past weekend, I feel like was the wild one.
Yeah.
When they first did the last call to 11, I just laughed. I'm like, there's gonna be a lot of people drunk at noon on Saturday.
That's what I was thinking.
yeah.
I was
like
actually,
brunch parties are gonna be sick.
Or like the Leo meme.
I actually thought about that. I was like, so it's interesting. This is just a theory, but by moving the last calls up, like, doesn't it make it easier for someone to go out because you just come straight from work, you go out party, you're in bed by midnight, and you're probably still going out, but the ones who wouldn't normally go out on a Thursday night now could because you're still up for work at 9 a.m. Yeah. So like really, like, you're not changing the amount of people that are you're not deterring people from going
drunk
out.
earlier,
I
that's
think
all.
honestly, like personally, I didn't have a desire to go to clubs. Just one, to be safe, but two, like, I want to be like, you want people around. You want to be that crowd, right? Just sitting in the booth, whatever. But like, if I really was inclined to going earlier would be like, okay, finish work at 5, go to the bar for 7, and I'm home by midnight. That's perfect. Yeah. So it just seemed like it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe a
lot of people did think like that.
But
but a lot of people also did just like to get drunk a little bit earlier. Yeah. Like, okay, cool. Pre-drink starts 2 hours earlier. And if you have the schedule to do so, then people were all down for it.
Yeah.
A lot of people working from home too, so it's like they were basically showered, ready to go by 5:01.
They were drunk anyway. So.
Yeah, they were basically Zoom calls. Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
The amount of Zoom drinks we did at the beginning of COVID. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, me and Ryan had quite a few drinks during COVID.
No, but it's like this. We had a lot
I
of
actually
Zoom
might drink
parties, and
tonight.
I'm like, you know what? I can't.
You're
do
getting the
another
itch,
Zoom.
eh?
I'm itching a little
Yeah,
bit.
getting the itch.
I'm
I'm headed to the gym right after this. I got to keep my mind off that booze. But
Ah,
I actually worked out and ran right before this. Like, not
There you
because
go.
I anticipated drinking, but I'm like, I have to get out of the way early because sometimes these episodes get us really fired up, and then it just like,
storytelling and reminiscing
Yeah,
always
yeah.
gets you. Always gets the gears turned
It
up
does.
a little bit. Yeah.
If I want to ask about, okay,
What are you going?
I was gonna ask about like kind of the projects, but in discreet thing. I was gonna
go.
ask because of what's going on with clubs now, and obviously now it's back to lockdown. But let's say in the new year, they go back to the 7 o'clock last card 9. Do you guys anticipate still opening, or you want to wait to be like boom, like
That's going to be up for discussion because really, who knows what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
In terms of like the last call and the capacity limits and the rules, and there's so many different things that could happen from now until then, that we will have that discussion, but we won't be able to necessarily have, like, of course we could plan for the different things that we think are going to come, but until we know what's coming, then we can really start planning.
You're just playing it by ear, rolling with it right
That's
now.
all you can do.
Probably
really,
the best way to do it. Yeah.
Because I mean, I heard that we were going to go on lockdown after Christmas, and then I heard it was December 11th, and then I heard December 1st, and now we're in lockdown right now, and it's not even December, right? So there's so many different things that could happen that sure you could try your best to plan for multiple different scenarios that you think, but at the end of the day, just wait and figure it out.
Yeah. Well, it's good. It gives you more time to kind of hone it and test things and all that stuff, right? Kind of get ready for that. And
Exactly.
Slingshot, you said.
Like
once,
the slingshot.
yeah, once it comes back, I'm sure like people will be coming out in droves. So
big time.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about. Did you host the beer palooza or beer Pong-a-looza?
Palooza. Yeah,
Palooza.
so that's Ryan's festival actually, that he started in Ottawa years back.
Okay.
And then we brought it to Toronto, him and I.
Last year or the year before? It was at Rebel, right?
Yeah. Was it the year before last year? I don't know how. I can't remember this.
It's all big blur. Pre-COVID.
November, pre-COVID at some point, which
Yeah.
could be anywhere.
We'll leave it.
Oh,
November pre-COVID
This is the
was
thing that we
the
wanted to
event.
put a team in for or
It was a
something.
massive beer pong
Yes,
tournament.
yes.
Year 1, this guy, Ryan, broke the world record for the world's largest beer pong tournament.
Shut up.
Yeah. In Ottawa. It was
Like
crazy
legit
one.
beer pong. Like he's got the Guinness plaque.
I'm not sure if he has a plaque, but I know it's a broken record.
It's a broken record. Okay, shit.
But yeah, no, there's this, I forget this guy's name, but he's a brainiac, and he just sits behind the computer the entire tournament. And it's like an NCAA bracket system. And then it's all day. It's 9 hours of drinking. And
Heck
beer
yeah.
pong. Yeah. And then we did it at Rebel, and then we like added the bottle service aspect, which they have in Ottawa too. But it was just a massive 9-hour shift of a party.
Is it or is it like regular beer pong, like kind of like a decent amount of beer per cup? Or
Legally,
is
you're not allowed to have
Yeah,
beer
you're
in the
not
cup because it promotes like excessive drinking and whatnot, right?
so it's water in the
So you
cup?
obviously have, it's water, but you have your beers, your beer
On the
bars and whatever they're called. What are they called? The beer stations or whatever. Beer tubs.
Got it, okay.
Around, and then you have your bars open because obviously people are going to go do shots, and then that's where a lot of the profit is in the liquor sales. So they go buy a beer, they have a beer in their hand, they play. And
Okay.
so you're not allowed to put beer in the cup, but
Because I was going to say,
you're allowed to
I was
sell
going to ask
booze.
is people probably like, fuck, you be fucking dead after 9 hours
Yeah,
of beer
yeah.
pong.
Oh,
I
yeah.
play 3 games and I'm like, I'm done. I'm
The champion of the
That's 'cause you
tournament's
lose
passed
quick,
out.
Whoa. Don't disrespect me. Last time I think we played up with the lay. I'm pretty sure I won. I think. I could be misremembering. But
No, thankfully it worked out. It worked out great in Ottawa and Toronto, and we're bringing it back. We are 100%. We're bringing it back.
Pals will have a team in there.
100%.
Yes, bring it on.
100%.
We'll put your guys' name. Like,
But once that club
we'll get
opens, Pals will have a booth there first night for sure.
a residency booth, 100%.
That's
Just
it.
that name above one booth, and
Will you take the sign on this?
Hey, I think. No, we can't take that.
No,
down.
we can't. We're
Yeah.
definitely
you could actually make that a sign that they walk out with bottles. That'd be kind of cool.
Walk in, like imagine being so prepared to party. Never mind this slingshot pulled back so far. People come into the club with their own bottle signs.
Oh, yeah.
I've been waiting for this all year.
Ronnie, I got the sign. When's the club open? No, yeah, we're bringing back the festival to Toronto. We've already started talking to some people, looking at venues. We really want to do it. It's Ryan's baby.
Yeah.
So
If he ever comes back from Tulum.
yeah, I don't know when that's gonna be. He goes, yeah. I called my parents and they were like, this is Ryan speaking, and he's like, his mom and dad were like, go have fun, go have a beer for us on the beach. Don't have to come back. And Ryan's like, perfect, see ya.
Yeah.
Ryan booked a one way and packed all of his shit, and he's there. And
It's always good when the parents support it too, right? Like even when they came the first time, to the club, it's
yeah.
always good to have that back. It just makes you feel a little bit less, a little calmer.
Yeah, and then my dad, who I obviously love him dearly, calls me and goes, hey, you got to tell me what you want for Christmas this year. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm like,
A flight
socks?
home at some point.
I'm like, okay, I guess I'm coming back now. No, but I always knew I was coming back.
Yeah.
Christmas is huge in my family, and it is in Ryan's as well, but his parents are
They
going to go to a
understand.
cottage, and
yeah.
his sister just
so a
recently
different year,
moved,
right?
and-
Too, like
yeah.
with everything going on.
Yeah, but no, I'll be home for Christmas, then I'm just going to go back to Tulum at some point. Yeah, or wherever we may be.
Very cool. I have one more I want to ask.
I got a couple more.
If you could throw one party
Yeah.
right now, like one event, either around a theme, around a big event, or in one city, what would it be?
I would throw a concert in the Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I love that.
That is
With
I
a
know,
few
so
acts.
that's
with a few
legit.
acts.
That's
yeah.
legit.
With a couple acts, I would either do a festival. I would either do a festival in Brazil or I would do a concert series with multiple artists in the Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love it. That's dreaming big right there.
That's, man,
That's
I
what
respect.
I was
I respect
thinking.
that. That's a 100,000
I
person
like
stadium.
it.
That's
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it.
Or something to the size of like the Rogers Center or whatever.
Yeah. That's awesome.
No. Dallas was better. That was
Yeah,
bigger.
Dallas is cool, man.
Yeah, twice
Like,
the size.
I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. I do not want to talk about their season they're having. But no.
No, once
I'm kidding.
Dak went down,
So-
it was lights out.
Oh man, that was a heartbreaker. But no, I'm a big Dallas Cowboy fan, and I've never been to the city. I really want to go to the city and see what it's all about. And the Dallas Cowboys Stadium is just something special. So to be able to get into that venue, I feel like there's some magic that could be worked in terms of like a concert.
It's epic. It's
or,
mad.
or maybe even a beer pong festival.
That would be insane.
Yeah, that'd be a big
I've
festival.
been there. I went with a buddy.
No
Our
way.
buddy Alexander, who Rick used to promote with.
Yeah.
I'd been there twice in the same year. Once was on a work trip, and I actually had to go on tour the stadium, and then I went back with them, and I actually got to go onto the field and like play catch
No
on the
way.
field. Yeah.
Wow.
Ran
Okay,
a
cool.
corner route in the end zone, almost broke an ankle.
Touchdown.
It's the most unathletic looking. You play football. Most
Yeah.
unathletic corner route. In my head, I'm running I'm like, wow, I'm like Terrell
Fuck,
Owens.
I look good.
I'm like Terrell Owens. His
then you watch the video?
Yeah, his dad got a video. Oh my, it is so bad.
Like, don't post that.
But,
No, I'm sure you looked good.
we actually were down there for the Green Bay Packers playoff game when they lost when Aaron Rodgers came back in the wild card game.
Ugh.
I was with the Moretti family. Diehards were sitting there. I'm having a good time. I'm not a Dallas fan. We're Tennessee fans.
Okay.
But I'm gonna cheer for Dallas. I'm in the Palace in Dallas, so I gotta cheer for them.
You have to.
But it was quiet as hell leaving that stadium. Let me tell you,
It
like
must have been so awkward.
100,000 people.
Imagine
You're
that
about
guy
to win
wearing
that
a Rodgers-
game.
yeah.
And I don't remember a lot. I had a few drinks, but I remember Rodgers doing a 2-minute drill there. It was like
That
it was
guy's
crazy.
something special, but
Yeah.
That's
If
too
you ever
bad.
have a chance going down there, and I highly recommend
I'll get
it.
there. I'll get
Yeah.
there. As soon as COVID, I plan on doing a lot of traveling, and the Dallas Cowboys Stadium is one of
Yeah.
the places.
Where
I
else
gotta
are you
go to.
thinking? So Tulum, we got Tulum, Miami. Maybe you mentioned Nashville.
Yeah,
Dallas.
somewhere in Texas. I really want to go check out like the South,
Yeah.
and a lot of my family's from Florida, and
Okay.
I've never been to visit.
Really? Whereabouts in
surprisingly.
Florida?
Like the New Smyrna Beach area.
Is that the east side or west side?
I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I'm so directionally challenged in that sense. But I think it's near Daytona,
Okay.
Okay.
maybe.
Daytona's-
But like my dad was raised there, and
Take north.
and I-
East Gulf. Yeah.
okay, cool. So there, anywhere in Florida, really. I want to go check out England. A lot of my mom's side's from England. Anywhere really. Anything
Yeah.
that comes to my mind, I think now's the time to just go.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Getting the itch now.
Yeah, big time.
I think
feel
we all
you.
have. I think
feel you.
everybody. has
Everybody, slingshot.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah,
longest
yeah.
I've gone, probably in the last like 7 or 8 years without getting on a plane.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I usually
Yeah.
we're either with
Very,
him or
like
with my
very.
family.
Don't get me wrong. Very fortunate. Like even from when I was a kid, my parents would my parents. I love them to death. Every trip they went on growing up, they would take us with them.
That's
like,
awesome.
always.
Yeah.
I think my parents, honestly, I don't know how they did it, but I think they did one vacation their whole life without us. So like I've been fortunate enough to just like whenever we go, whether it's Europe for the summer, for Greece where we're from, or like the
Sweet.
odd weekends in Florida, something like. This is the longest time. Honestly, I'm not saying like I'm not complaining because like people have it a lot worse right now, but it is
Yeah.
it's you haven't had that reset. Like everyone kind of
You got that itch going for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I went to before lockdown. I think it was like a week or two before lockdown. I went to New Orleans,
Wow.
and that place is nuts.
I've heard
Yeah.
it's sick.
Oh, it's so sweet.
A week before lockdown.
About that, yeah.
Oh, so
I was
just
like,
party like-
I was getting off the plane coming home, and people were wearing masks, right, like getting through the airport. But New Orleans, we went to a Heat game, or was it a Heat game?
Pelicans?
Yeah, we did. So we saw Zion play. It was
Oh,
great.
sick.
And then,
How's the food down there? I heard it's unbelievable.
oh man, you go on Bourbon Street. You go in. There's like live music playing. Everyone's
All
happy,
day
drinking, boozing. Grab a drink at a bar. You leave the bar with the drink in your hand. Go into another restaurant with that drink. Sit down. Order some drinks, some food. The food is amazing. And then you could walk the streets with your booze. And it's like
I've
it's
heard
a
it's
free for all.
insane.
Yeah, it's like spring
Yeah.
break on a street forever. And then-
Forever.
Honestly, I think John and Ram. I think they went for Ram's bachelor party.
I was
They
there
did.
for a bachelor party.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
think they did, and they went during Mardi Gras, or maybe they didn't go during Mardi Gras, but they went to.
Did they? I don't remember.
I can't remember, but I think my brother went
It's
there.
sweet,
so
man.
it's
It's
unbelievable.
so cool. It's like
I
the
think
energy
he
there
did.
is
Sorry
kind
if
of
he
different,
did.
especially in that street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you done Scottsdale, Arizona by any chance?
I've heard so many stories of that
So we were
place,
there
but
probably
no,
the same
I
time you
haven't.
were in New Orleans. We were there for his brother's bachelor
I
party.
heard it's pretty crazy.
It's the same vibe. It's like a downtown.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because like you hear like when we were going down, you hear about like the party district. Then you hear there's some like nice hotels, like they have a pool party at the W and all that. So
Okay.
you think that like there's a nice area with hotels and there's like a party area. It's all one area.
All
That's a place I forgot
It's
to
like 2
mention that I
city
would wanna check
blocks,
out.
basically.
Yeah.
You can drive through it in 30 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a downtown district.
Scottsdale?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Arizona.
I've heard some crazy stories. That's one place
It's
I
a
wanna check
really,
out.
really fun place. Like we said earlier, like big fan of Vegas and all that stuff. But like in terms of like bang for your buck wise, like partying and like vibe and everything, Scottsdale's really.
Me and Ryan had a trip and a party weekend planned in Vegas, and it was going to be my first time in Vegas. I've never been. And my first time was going to be hosting parties with Ryan in Vegas through Just College. And we had this whole trip launched. We had people signed up. We're going down, and then COVID. Yeah.
Oh, so that was gonna happen this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We're so excited for it. And then, I mean, it is.
If you have any recommendations or like anybody like
for Vegas?
Yeah.
I'll be calling you guys.
I mean, if I cannot, I wouldn't go like right now. Would be not the best place to go. You don't be on thousands of people, but I'm definitely itching to go.
Miami
back.
looks pretty cool right now. Tulum looks absolutely insane. It's a full blown like
It's
one of
crazy.
my buddies. I'm obviously refreshing my Instagram to watch everyone's story because I'm getting so much FOMO. I just need to be there. But my buddy did obviously a story of the restaurant that they were at. Everybody had a flare in the hand.
Yeah,
people were standing on
no
tables.
masks, like
bottles are coming out, and I'm like, okay, I leave next Thursday. Can I switch my flight to maybe Monday? I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I'm like, I need a flare in my hand. Where's the flare? I'm sitting in my bed at home.
Just like with your phone by yourself, just firing flares. in
got a
your
little
condo.
lighter holding
Like,
up.
I'm here, guys. I'm coming. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Honestly,
I got one more left in terms of modeling. What's the
Yeah.
coolest brand or coolest campaign you worked on?
I walked Fashion Week. That was always fun. Walking Fashion Week's always fun. It's because I'm used to that sports aspect, right? So when you're with a team
People
of people behind, like the curtain, getting ready, like you're having like that pump up speech, and you're going. There's a lot of stuff that you wouldn't think happens in Fashion Week that happens, and then you just go and you get out there and you do your walk and you come back. Quick little story, actually. First Fashion Week,
Take
I walked.
your time. Don't
Ryan,
be quick. Yeah, we got
Ryan,
time.
God bless him, Ryan. So I tell him,
Does
I'm
he
like,
sit like front row for all your shows?
just wait. So the first one I did was with Collar, the brand that I'll go to bat for every single time.
Yeah,
I love so much. I call Ryan and I'm like, dude, I'm walking Fashion Week. Do you want to come check it out? And he goes, I'll be there. So he does a 5-hour drive by himself, gets to Fashion Week, and I'm like, I'm trying so hard not to make a face or like laugh or like, you got to be serious and, you know, do whatever, right?
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, and it was my first time walking, and I was like, okay, I got to walk to the end, stop for a second, look right, and then look left as I turn around and walk back up. So I get to the end, boom, boom. I'm like, perfect. So I start walking up, and all I hear is Ronnie, and someone banshee screaming my name, and I look, and it's Ryan, like trying to essentially tossing people out of the way, but moving people out of the way with his phone out, screaming my name like a proud
dad.
like a proud dad. And I'm trying so hard not to look at him. I'm walking up. He's got this big smile on his face, waving at me with his phone out, screaming not knowing anything of what's going on around him, basically.
Yeah.
So I kind of like, I'm trying so hard not to laugh, and I look over, give him a wink and a smile, and he's like, yeah. He's just back down.
See, that's why we
like, I
get
got
the other
him.
camera just on the gas. They catch the
yeah.
wink.
You need that zoom in, you know.
We got that. That was
Yeah.
Yo,
He was,
honestly, shout to Ryan. You need that support in your life, right? It makes just like just
5
you that
hours
person-
came up.
Oh,
did his
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
And then that was fun. And the music video I recently did was a lot of fun.
Well, let's hear about it.
So you guys recently had Frank Walker on the show.
Yes,
Frank.
Shout out to Frank.
Big shout out.
My dude. The new single that they released with Stephen Puth and Loud Luxury, of course, your guys' boys.
Yep.
Called Like Gold. Great song. And Adrian,
Banger.
who we met, I think, each other through. So he hits me up and he goes, hey, do you want to do this music video? And this was right after I got back from Ottawa. And I think I took like 3 days off the gym, and I'm very OCD with it. I'm like, yeah, sure, man. What do I got to do? He goes, take your shirt off and flex. And like just mouth
I
the
can just
lyrics.
picture Adrian saying that too.
Yeah.
The way he
Take your
talks.
shirt off and flex and just mouth the lyrics. I'm like, oh fuck. So I immediately look down and I'm like, give myself the old like, am I ready for it? I'm like, I think I'm ready. And he goes, you look better than Adrian. He goes, dude, you look better. You look better than me right now. You're fine. Just do it.
The raspy voice. Yeah, I love
I'm like,
it.
all right,
Shout
dude.
out Adrian, man. Love
Yeah,
you,
that guy's awesome. And so that day, so the rest of the week, I'm
Diet's on
Oh
point.
man, in such a deficit. I'm doing 2-3 workouts a day. The day of, so I fast up until the shoot, but I did 2 workouts prior to that. So I get there, strip down, put the short shorts on, yank up the high purple socks, immediately get rubbed down with like this oil and like this glitter. So then I'm like kind of a little bit nervous. I don't know, because I haven't done anything in a little while because COVID or whatever. So then I call a buddy. I'm like, hey man, you have any booze on you? And then I look at the like directors. I'm like, you guys want a drink? And they're like, yeah. So something that was supposed to be an hour turned into 6 hours, and we're just having fun. So I'm keep in mind, I'm 2 workouts deep, fasted, and start slamming vodka.
Yeah, a couple shots. A couple shots will do ya.
I'm like in front of the camera. I'm like, one sec, take a shot, and then I'm like looking at Adrian, the director, because it's Adrian the director, and then there's Adrian the manager. And then I jump down, do like 50 push-ups, come up, do another shot, and then like, and action. So then I start flexing my pecs and pounding on my chest and dancing, and it was a lot of fun. And then I guess some glitter would fall off. I don't know. And then the person would run up, and Nate,
Glitter you back up.
Beauty by Nate, who's the most talented makeup artist I've seen.
Awesome.
And shout out to Nate. I saw you guys do that. So I had to
it's always do the shout outs.
Would run over and get some glitter on me and some oil, and then I'd crank out some more push-ups and do another scene, and then I would curl some speakers.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, again, I've known this guy for a long time. I've seen him do fashion shows, talent shows, all these things. I know exactly what you're talking about.
When you get in a certain mindset, you have something.
I don't know from experience. I've never been asked to go shirtless on anything. I probably won't for a while.
Nah, not with that attitude, buddy.
Listen,
you got it.
If people ask you to run or do a corner route or something, I'll do it for the video, but I ain't doing shirtless.
No, but that was really fun. It's a great tune. I love the song.
Oh, bang.
Now I have people sending me videos pounding on their chests listening to the song, or when it comes on the radio, they flip it.
What was the concept? I haven't seen. Is it out?
I think it's
out.
lyrical.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's the lyrical video, so they don't have like anybody's face in it. It's just kind of mouth down.
Oh, cool.
And then I'm, like I said, oiled up with a bunch of glitter.
Yeah, but you have like the speaker. They have like gold paint on the speaker.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all
I gotta
kind
watch
of like
that.
a golden aspect,
I haven't seen it yet.
and then me just doing the old peck pop of love, I guess you can call it.
I'm gonna post this on the Instagram when we share the video. It's gonna be the peck of love.
Yeah.
The Rock in one of his movies called it the peck pop of love, so I'll always remember
Peck
that.
pop of love. I like that.
It's pretty good.
Flex it. And they're like, "Can you flex your pecs?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Perfect, keep doing that."
Thought you'd never ask.
I'm like, it's about time. I put these things to use. No, I'm joking. That pounding on my chest, dancing, it was drinking, having fun.
Having a good time. That's what it's about, right?
Exactly. So that was a really cool one. That was recent. That I have to say, that was a lot of fun.
Are you with your new venture and all that lined up? Are you still planning on continuing doing modeling and stuff like that?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still
you
under
didn't
contract.
drink for 30 days for nothing?
True. Fair. We're starting to reach out these.
Hey, don't get me wrong. The only reason why I'm not.
I thought it was my bad.
Don't get me wrong. The only reason why I haven't been drinking is so I can look better drunker. Smart.
Smart.
No, I'm kidding. There we go. Oh, my mom doesn't watch this. She's like, I'm so proud of you. You haven't drank in a month. I'm like, yeah. I finally gave it up. And in my mind, I'm like, hey, what am I going to drink the first time I get to Mexico? No, I'm joking.
You're not really joking.
No, not at all. But I come from a very heavy sports background ever since I could walk. So working out has been such. I mean, in junior high and high school, I was waking up at 6 a.m. to run to the basketball court and train one-on-one with my coach or whatever, right? So it's been such a constant in my life. And then I kept training. I'm like, now what am I training for? And then I got into modeling and fashion, and that gave me a reason to work out even harder, which is something I love doing. It gave it more of a purpose, right? Okay. And so now they kind of go hand in hand with each other. So I love working out, and modeling is one of the ways to motivate me to keep working out.
Very cool.
And I'm still under contract, so
okay.
So that and I don't have a choice, right?
If you don't look like the picture, you're kind of screwed.
Can't say no. Valid terms of the contract.
Like I look at this Calvin Klein thing I did, and then he calls me in for body shoot, and I look at that, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, dude, we've been in lockdown for 6 months. I'm like, I'm gonna try and get back to that within when you want the shoot for, but I'm gonna let you know right now, I might need a little bit more time.
Yeah.
So I think I told him that a few months back. Thankfully, I'm pretty well back to that now, and some shoots are rolling and starting to open up a little bit more. But
I'm sure you'll find ways to work. You're gonna be in Tulum in the sun too. Like I'm sure you'll have motivation. I'm sure the partying lot, but I'm sure I'll be motivated to.
First 2 days I plan on getting as many photos as I can out of the way, so I can hit it at its peak. And then from there, just.
Well, you're gonna do a couple of yoga sessions down there. I feel like everyone in Tulum does at least one yoga.
Yeah.
One.
You got
one. That's it. Hey, one. It's like if you didn't post a picture doing yoga in Tulum, you didn't go to Tulum.
Yoga, the Rumble in the Jungle gym, the city gym. I think it's called Evolve.
Yeah.
And then just get drunk.
And that's it.
No, I'm kidding.
Go there way. You got to go to
consistent.
Azulik, whatever it's called. Azulik, the treehouse thing.
Where you walk, it's like that open. The body's opened, and it's a big statue of a person, and then you walk into it.
It's like those. I don't know. It's like a resort. I think it's called Azulik. It's like tree houses and everything.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen
with
the 4,000 Toronto people that are down there. Right
exactly.
Now. Quite a few posts of them.
Oh yeah.
But no, I'm gonna try and. I say this now, keep in mind, but
and then once you get down there,
I'm gonna try and stay consistent in the workouts and stay healthy. But again, that's me saying that now.
Hey, listen, mental workouts are important too. Clearing your mind out there and being free is just as important as the body.
that's
very important.
Big time. Yeah.
Very.
100%. No, I'm gonna let loose, have some fun, especially on my birthday. I'll be
have
there.
to, man.
So that's definitely gonna be completely off the deep end on that day.
Yeah,
but,
it's your last one in your 20s then, right?
Yeah, 29.
Sorry,
man.
I didn't mean to make you feel old, but we just had our
Hey,
we both
that's
did our 30th this year.
29 was good. 29 was great. Felix Popvat's my lucky number, so it's a good year for you. Good year
Thank
for
you.
you.
I hope it is.
We
Yeah,
love
man.
that for
Last
you,
year,
man.
my 20s.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hit it
Get it.
hard.
Yeah, you have to.
I'll tell you personally, I actually feel like, I don't know, I feel as I get older, I feel younger than I did the year before. So
You know more.
Yeah.
So
I do, but my body's starting to feel old now. And like I'm still in decent shape. My
What do you
knees
mean,
hurt,
like-
my feet hurt. In the
Really?
morning, I feel like a machine that hasn't been greased up.
I don't feel that.
That's honestly, it's weird. Every morning I wake up, I'm like, oh, like I gotta just.
You also are a little bit more flat-footed than
Yeah,
most
I know
you
you're
I'm
getting
a
there when you
little-
make
couple
noises to
pounds
stand
heavier.
up and sit down.
Honestly, that's
I mean,
exactly what it
I'm
is.
saying that. I did that right before this episode started, getting up from like fixing this thing, so I shouldn't really talk.
Yeah.
It's like when you sit down, you do the old, fuck. Getting a little older.
It's like, I just picture my dad, right?
Yeah.
Say, oh, I gotta get up again. Oh,
Or the to get up, to stand up, you know?
Yeah.
It's like it helps you get up in some way. It doesn't.
Motivates you.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, but
Guys.
that's it. Usually we would ask kind of, what do you have going on in the future? But I feel like we know it already.
Yeah.
We had it casually. Like,
Well,
we
Thank
know
you.
Tulum. We know some of the travels, some of
Yeah.
the other exciting stuff. And
Yeah, some clubs coming up. Some
Yeah, and like we said too,
travel.
like when stuff really you can start announcing too, we'd love to have you back on. I mean,
Heck yeah,
and-
man.
and
And,
talk
again,
about
I
stuff.
wish Ryan was here too, but he.
And that's what I mean. We'll get you.
that's
Yeah, we'll
good.
get you guys both
we'll
on
get
here.
you both on. We'll do an episode with Ryan individually too.
We'll do a Thursday night or Friday. Then we'll go on after.
the 6 p.m.er.
They
Yeah.
call it the Basham Brothers episode. Or
Ah,
something.
There
there
you
we
go.
go.
Yeah, honestly, that's how you do clickbait. We invited the Bash
You
Brothers
gotta remember
on.
that one. You gotta remember
Yeah,
that one.
Like a note. Jordan's on it.
But yeah, I guess before we wrap up, if people want to find out more about you, they want to see some of your modeling, some of the
Yeah.
other things you've done, where should they go?
Just my Instagram. If you guys want, I'm an open book on there. More so on my stories, obviously.
What's
than
your
my
Instagram?
posts, but it's just Ronnie Wray. RONNIEWRAY. I was lucky enough to just get my name.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
Before he deleted his, he got his. Yeah.
Oh wow, you're so like Ryan has
Well,
been
I got
in
my
fights with Ryan Pownell over Instagram. Like,
Really?
they battled each other because Ryan's like, "I'll pay you this much," and the kid's like, "Fuck off," because it's like a little kid, and Ryan's like, "Fuck you, man," and then it's hilarious. I'll get Ryan to tell the story about how he's battling another Ryan Pownell halfway across the world to try and get the name.
That's
But
amazing.
no, but thankfully, when you luck out with your actual name on Instagram, don't.
So I got my last. So I wanted like. So my full name George Boutsalis. I always looked. I always knew George was going to be taken. So I didn't really care that much. But as like it started like the last maybe year or two, I would always like look at George or like whatever. And then one night, I remember this because like we did a run. This is like maybe summertime, August. We're on a run down by like near my area, like Lakeshore. And I remember we're just walking and we're talking about Instagram handles for some reason. And I just searched. I type in Boutsalis. And nothing, and I'm like, well, this is weird. I'm like, there's no Boutsalis, and I'm like, there's probably 1,000 Boutsalises out there. Like my family's massive, all over whatever. So I keep seeing everyone's name. Like there's a bunch of George Boutsalises and then different iterations of that. And I'm like, there's no Boutsalis. So as we're walking, I'm like, I searched I changed my name like at Boutsalis, and it goes through, and I was like, it's so weird. I never thought I would get so much satisfaction out of that. But for like a week,
so happy.
You feel like you're
I'm like,
you
Rick,
again.
this is the best day ever.
And then he deleted Instagram a month later.
Deactivated,
no.
temporary deactivated. Got a lot going on right now. Busy
hear ya.
projects, so I gotta focus. You know,
Buckle down. And,
I actually got in a fight with someone who had Ricky, except with I has an X. So it was like RXCKY, which is like a
It's not
five.
like cool way to do it.
Yeah,
the
well, it
X.
was a 5-letter word too. So the guy was like, $500 for it. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm in. Yeah, let's do it. 700. I was like, we just agreed on 500. He's like, 900 American. I was like, what? I'm like,
That's why I'm sitting there. Fuck, I keep undershooting this dude. I got.
I'm like, yo, let's
price
He's gonna
up.
say no,
rewind.
and then that's a good.
Let's rewind.
that's
And
a
I'm
good
like, man,
tactic.
let's go back to 500. What happened? He goes, okay, each So I was like, whoa, absolutely not. You just tried to rinse me here. Like, how do I even know I'm getting the name?
Price doubled in a conversation.
Yeah, so then
That's an interesting tactic because he probably was trying to get you to reach when you say no, and then go back one.
You usually highball it and expect
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna settle for a little less,
$500
right?
wasn't bad though. Like,
Not bad.
for an Instagram.
I think I would get one name.
for a
Pretty
5-letter
cool.
name, $500. I spent $500 a lot worse.
You know what? We're about
Oh,
to
yeah.
launch an app. You will have your own name, buddy. So don't worry.
Yes, I will.
Oh, you're
Yes, I will.
laughing.
We'll get you.
We'll
on
make
that
sure you
too.
get
Please.
just at Ronnie.
Ronnie Wray, please.
You got Ronnie Wray, full name.
I have the
You got
first
it.
and last on Instagram.
You got it.
I'm
I
lucked
like
out.
it. I respect it.
I haven't had to battle any kid halfway across the world.
All right, but yeah, this has been a blast.
This
And
is awesome, man. Thank you so much for having me and bringing me on here. And I
Dude, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice guy too. And honestly,
Likewise.
best circle back jokes we've had.
Yeah, you're
Thank you.
great.
That means a lot coming from
and
pros
I
like
can
you
tell
guys,
you, I
so.
know when Rick's genuinely laughing. That first one you did, I thought he was gonna fucking break a rib laughing. Like
The Prada glasses.
the Prada glasses.
Mid Copenhagen.
That is good.
Mid Copenhagen, wondering where his Prada shit
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
that was a good one. All right,
I'm happy I impressed a couple pros like you guys. And again,
We
thank you
love
so
it.
much. Yeah,
we
no, I
love it.
appreciate
So yeah, if you made it this far,
Wait, we didn't ask our questions.
Oh my god,
Bro, how you forgetting here?
wow,
We have two questions we ask at the end of every episode.
Okay.
wow, holy crap, I did forget.
Yeah.
The first, because you know why we did the plug. Usually we do the plug after the questions.
True.
That's why. My bad. Completely.
It's all good.
Thanks, George.
No problem.
Ronnie,
Yeah.
if there was a movie about your life,
Yeah.
who would you want to star as you? Could be anybody from any time.
Wow. What a question.
No big deal. I've
Take
asked
your
it.
time. We're not
I've asked it a couple times.
Man, I don't know. Jeez, that's tough.
You're funny today, Rick.
This is a funny episode. We got it. We're all
It's a
funny
good episode.
today.
I'm having some fun.
This is
I'm
honestly-
having a lot of
I'm
fun
telling
too.
you right now, like if I would admit you to
I want to go
out.
completely off and say somebody random, but then I also want to be serious.
No, you can,
So say two then.
So some people are like, does it have to look like me? It's like, no, whoever you would want to play you. Like you could
I
say,
immediately thought of Rocky and Rocky 3, but
Okay.
that wouldn't probably work out. But I just recently rewatched all the Rockies.
Oh,
What
okay.
else are you going to do
Phenomenal.
during quarantine, right?
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you watch 6 and 7 too?
I did. Yeah.
Which is while you're thinking of your question.
Well, there
which-
was Balboa and then no, there's 5 and then Balboa and then Creed 1 and Creed 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So there's technically 8. Yeah.
I watched all the way up to Creed 2.
So what's your of all of those? What do you have a favorite one?
Oh man, it's tough. I did at first, like obviously Rocky 4 stands out because
Yeah.
it's like one of the pinnacles. But then when you rewatch the entire thing, you have a great understanding of how he kind of transitioned from movie to movie. Like the difference between his body and his character from Rocky 1 and 2, he's the same guy. Rocky 3 and 4, he's a different person.
Yeah.
And then Rocky 5, and then you got Balboa years later, and then Creed 1, and then Creed 2, how it's kind of a replica of Rocky 4.
Well,
right?
Which of the Creeds did you like better?
2.
See, I personally, I remember liking
1 was cool
better.
though. 1 was cool because
I
it was
like
a
It's
little-
both.
different. Yeah.
But I feel like the two, because so we didn't even talk about this, which we won't get into now. Maybe we'll save for the next one. But you talk about boxing. Are you a fan, like of boxing in
Oh
general?
yeah,
Like,
big- I'm having. If you guys want to come over Saturday, I'm getting the
for
Tyson fight.
Oh
100%.
my. Okay, so that's what I wanted to ask because we didn't even touch on that. Like I'm like probably my favorite sport after basketball. Like I watch. I sit at home rewatching like Mayweather and De La Hoya and all these fights.
Yeah, huge, huge fight fan.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's okay. So that one thing that I found, and I haven't rewatched Creed 2, but I found that they rushed what a typical boxing storyline because I felt there was a lot to get in. I got that
was.
vibe maybe. I don't know. I haven't watched it in a while, but Creed 1 was like the underdog story.
It was cool.
Yeah.
and
It was
I
good 'cause it was
get now
different.
that you point that out, I understand
Yeah.
that. But maybe it was just because
Creed
it
2's
made me
also-
think of like the classic Rocky. You know,
Yes,
I love
yes.
this series and da 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 da. But it was they both do it great, and I like your point about Rocky.
Fun
Yeah, I
fact
agree with
about
that.
Rocky.
I'm pissed too.
won.
I ordered merch off Tyson. I should have worn it now. Damn.
About
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I got that vintage Tyson shirt. I started fighting. I'm like $20 for this shirt. I gotta buy it.
Fun fact.
He
about
has
the
great
movie.
merch, and just to circle back on that, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
go
If
ahead. Yeah, no.
I don't know if I would pick Rocky from Rocky 3 to do me in a movie, but I don't know.
Okay.
That's such a tough question.
Okay,
I don't
so
know.
do you have anyone you'd pick for you to do the movie?
I'd like to say I just play myself.
That's a
I
good
like
enough
it.
answer.
Hey,
Yeah.
I like it.
it. I like it.
Yeah.
Quickly, one quick fact about Sylvester Stallone in the Rocky series. So he pitched the idea of the movie to a bunch of different studios. A
Yeah.
bunch of them said no. Then the one that said yes said, yeah, we're going to give you, I think it was like 25 grand for the movie.
Yeah.
And then they had someone that they were going to line up to play Rocky. I can't remember who it was though. Regardless, he says, no, I want to star in this. Like, this is my movie. This is I'm the star. And this is before Sylvester Stallone was anything. This is his first real movie. And he ended up taking, I don't know, 80% less for the script. And he starred in it for basically pennies on the dollar.
He sold his dog because he needed money
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
And that dog in Rocky 1, Rutkus,
I forget his name.
is the dog that he sold and bought back. He put it in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No shit.
So, the idea is that, so he literally bet on himself. He sold it for way cheaper, starred in himself, which, again, you had a great script. If you suck as an actor, that's a bad movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
get serious. If you suck as an actor, that like even Adrian's a decent actor, Mickey's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, big time.
You know, if you had bad actors, that's a terrible movie. It's like a
You're
shitty
shooting
boxing
yourself
movie.
in the foot there.
Yeah.
But he
bet on
killed it.
himself,
And now
and
he's
he
on
absolutely killed it.
Expendables
Man,
15 or whatever.
I was just
Fucking
gonna
break
bring
even,
that-
like
I was-
$20 million movie, probably
Yeah.
$10 million movie.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say that actually one of my favorite things. So growing up, I was a huge action movie fan, like Stallone, Schwarzenegger,
Oh,
Van
big
Damme,
time.
all these guys. I actually
Steven
think,
Seagal is a big one.
yeah, back in the day, like all those guys, I like literally my favorite movies to watch. I actually think I respect Stallone a lot for the Rocky stuff, but I think one of the smartest things he did was when the first Expendables came out, he basically like brought back every cool action star
Yeah,
Dolph Lundgren.
yeah.
Dude, like
Brought back Ivan
it gets a little
Drago.
crazy. Wesley Snipes,
Yeah, big
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
yeah, like
Chuck Norris popped up.
Chuck
at one
Norris,
point.
yeah.
It was like
that
the Avengers
concept,
from back
genius.
in the day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Genius
it's
con.
amazing.
He's
Every
very
badass.
very smart guy.
Yeah, when the Expendables first came out, everyone was like, "Holy crap, this is so cool!" Which
I
it
rem-
was.
Well,
It
Yeah.
Liam
still is.
Neeson, I think, was in it too.
Yeah, everybody.
Literally
was.
anybody who's been in an
Any
action
badass.
movie, the
Jason
best.
Statham, probably. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he was.
He's my dad's
Terry
favorite.
Crews was in it. Was one
Yeah,
at
yeah.
one point. Yeah.
That great movies. I have a question that I always end on, but I want to ask one before I ask
Yeah,
mine.
yeah.
Do you have a favorite boxer?
I've always loved Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
I'm a big Jordan fan, so I liked Roy Jones because he was sponsored by Jordan.
Yeah.
Now loyalty to the brand.
Fair. Respect.
I know George, man. You're bothering me.
That's
bothering me too.
And I'm diehard Nike. I wear Nike anything.
You got the
everything.
Nike socks, but the Reebok
But this
kick.
fits the vibe more.
I feel you. The classics with the sweatsuit.
You
I like
got
that.
it.
know right
I was
now.
gonna throw on white Air Forces,
But I love Mike Tyson and how he just came out of the gate.
yeah.
Yeah, and from the MMA side, I'm a big McGregor.
Okay.
fan. And Brock Lesnar, he was like, I think it was a high school or junior high when he was like when he won the heavyweight championship.
Yeah.
I loved Brock Lesnar at the time because I was a WWE fan. So to see him transition over and take over that sport too, it was huge.
That speech is one of the most epic, like, post-win speeches of all time. He's
The
like,
Brock Lesnar one.
yeah,
because
when he's
Coors
like,
ain't paying me shit.
shit,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna drink my Bud Light and f my wife.
I've seen it.
Never seen that?
Yeah, look it up. It's crazy, man.
Crazy.
Okay.
And I'm gonna drink a Bud, and that's a Bud because Coors ain't paying me shit. And then he goes off.
He's like, I'm gonna f my wife.
I love you just said it one time and then rephrased it. Okay, before I ask my question, I have one recommendation. Have you seen When We Were Kings?
No.
Okay, it's hard to find. You might have to download it somewhere, but it's called When We Were Kings, and it's about Ali's fight in Zaire, I think, versus Foreman. It's really old, like black and white. It's the outdoor
cool.
fight. It's epic. One of the best things I've ever seen. It's like a documentary of their time
Were
there.
Kings?
When We Were Kings.
When We Were Kings? I'll have a look. Thank you.
Look it up.
I love a good
Amazing.
movie like that.
Really, really
Yeah.
good.
Good on the plane ride to Tulum.
Yeah.
I'll probably be half in the bag by now.
Man, this has been fun. Let me hit the last question because we could talk about this forever. We'll save some for the next episode.
It's been great, yeah.
If you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
That's tough.
I don't want to make
These
my
are
call
great
back
questions,
on this
man.
one. But it's like, it's so easy to.
These are great questions. Great questions.
Thank you.
We've done this a couple times.
Yeah, seriously.
Episode 77.
Is it 77?
I don't know. 77, 78.
Jesus.
We're getting up there.
Just enjoy it. Just love it.
It's good.
Just take everything in and enjoy it as much as you can. You're going to be doing some pretty intense things. Be thankful. Always keep your close friends close and your family close, and experience what you want to experience, and just always be thankful and always be as kind as you possibly can be. Yeah, that's what I would say.
I love that because especially
good.
right now, I feel like those are big ones. You know, I try and remind myself every morning that I wake up that I'm not sick and that nobody in my close circle is sick, and we have jobs and we're able to pay our bills and, you know, go to bed at night with a roof over our shoulders. Like, being thankful.
Yeah, you got to remember.
You know, everyone
that,
during Thanksgiving is
you know,
always about be thankful. It's like, no, we should be thankful every
Every
freaking
day,
day right
100%.
now. So.
every day, like, oh fuck, I can't go to a nightclub. Yeah, well, look at it from the other aspect about what else is going on with somebody else that's in less. You know what I mean? You always got to realize the good in things, I think, and that's
my close so I do this kind of like a vibe check every morning. I post on my close friends on Instagram, and that was literally my one today. I'm like, be grateful for what you have, because
Always,
there's someone
man,
somewhere in the world that is praying to God for half of what you have.
Literally.
So,
Yeah.
That and being polite goes such a long way with everything.
Oh, 100%.
My favorite college professor said, and I always say this because of him, obviously, you get more bees with honey than you do vinegar.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite sayings. So always be nice, always be kind, and always be polite. Yeah.
And you know
grateful.
What's the saying? Sorry, I don't want to, and that's a great thing, but it just reminded me of that saying, that meme. It's like, you catch more. No, I'm gonna butcher it. I don't want to say it.
Go
very
say it.
similar.
It's like but you catch more honeys being fly or something like that. You catch more flies with honey. You catch more honeys being fly. Something like that.
It's a good meme.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
butchered it.
On a wrap.
What a ruin it, George.
If you made it this
Good, I
far,
like that.
subscribe, follow Ronnie on
Thank you guys.
Instagram.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
dude, that was
hit
a
us
lot
with
of
a
fun.
like, a
That was
comment,
awesome.
a review, all those fun things, and
Thank
that's
you.
it.
Thank you.
Signing
This
off,
was
pals.
awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank
I
you
appreciate
for
it.
coming on. Cheers.
Peace. Wow. Well, that was a good one. Couple laughs here and there. Silly goose time. Guys, if you made it this far, we appreciate you, number one. And we're very grateful for the listens. But we'd also be very grateful if you went to our YouTube channel and subscribed at the Pals Podcast. Followed us on Instagram. Send us an email. It's the holidays. We want to hear from you. Just, what is it? palspodcast@gmail.com. Yeah, guys, thanks for the listen.
And yeah, quickly, another shout out to our sponsors, On Men. Check them out. They're an online place where you can get medication and prescriptions targeted towards men. Another shout out to our sponsors, Tight Knit Clothing. Again, great material, great gear, great sweaters, t-shirts. Everything's awesome, and supporting local is very important. So that's it. This is a wrap. LFG. Bing, bang, boom.